Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Wednesday, December 20th in the year 2023. It's a little post Hanukkah, it's a little pre Christmas, but it's right on time for episode number 134 of Material Issues. And what an episode it's going to be. I'm Mark Hershberger of Pop Detective Records. Joining me tonight is my very good friend, all the way from the West Coast, as we're trying to stop this big banner being in front of my face, Mr. David Bash of the International Pop Overthrow Festival. David, how the heck are you this afternoon, your time?
I'm doing great, Mark. It's unfortunately it's raining out here. Seems it never rains in Southern California.
Somebody should write a song.
Maybe it was a one-hit wonder.
That's a prelude. Good prelude to what's going to go on later on tonight. Yeah, well, yeah. It's a beautiful sunny day here in South Jersey. Cold, very cold. We're supposed to warm up slightly, but I'm glad to be here. A couple days before my birthday, a couple hours post surgery, so I'm all hepped up on painkillers, and I may join our guest in a little tequila tonight to really take me over the edge. But yeah, you know what? David always comes on here. Right now, he's wearing this wonderful shirt with a upside down marijuana plant, I believe, is right in the middle of it.
Well, I'm not anti-pot, even though I've never even taken a hit off a joint. But I'm fine with if people want to smoke pot, that's great. But in some ways, it does represent the fact that I've never smoked, being an upside down leaf. It's like, I had no idea that that's what that was, but
it's like a clue off a Beatles record. I think looking at your shirt, it's like, what's he saying? What's he saying with this?
Again, a lot of people hate those Facebook ads. They can be intrusive, no doubt about it. But I'll tell you, I have found a lot of my favorite shirts. I found a few watches that way. You just got to sift through it, and occasionally you see something you really like, and it ends up being worth it.
Well, thank you, Facebook user. I don't know who you are. Drop us a note, say hi, tell us who you are. If you haven't signed up for a free account with Streamyard, we sometimes don't see your actual.
Yeah, tell Facebook people how. Name, but, Mark, tell people how to do that, because
it's easy. Just go to Streamyard.com, and if you just do a free account, you just sign up for a free Streamyard account. Then when you come into this show, it automatically will show your name. So, I mean,
anytime you make a comment,
anytime you make a comment, your name will pop up.
We'll see who you are. I mean, of course, you can always say who you are if you want. But
we love it. But I gotta tell you, David, it's right before my birthday, so I gifted myself. There's Rich Horton saying good evening. Hey, Rich.
Hey, Rich. Good to see you.
My good friend Jane. Hello, Jane. Nice to see you too. But, David, we always talk about watches, and I got my first ever, just in the mail yesterday, my first ever Xeric.
Oh, you got a Xeric, yes.
It's the Regulator Automatic Midnight Purple.
That's a good one.
It's a beautiful watch. Just came yesterday, so that's my little birthday present. I knew you would like that. It's Keith. Keith, nice to see you. Keith. And Carl. This show is extremely highly recommended. Yes,
it's extremely highly recommended. Squared today.
Oh, it's great. Oh, good to see Carrie Gibbs. Nice to see you, Carrie. Oh, nice watch. Yeah, I thank you so much.
What am I wearing today? I don't know if I ever showed this one.
Is it edible?
It's a Henry Archer. It's a company out of Denmark.
Yep, it's
it's your basic minimalist chronograph.
Come on.
I really like it. Occasionally, it goes well with the shirts that I'm wearing. Yeah, probably the only thing about it that I'm not crazy about is the date. The date window is a little bit too small.
Yeah.
But again, they were trying to make it minimalist. But it's your good basic chronograph, and although it's quartz, it's mecha quartz, so it actually ticks. It actually does the small discrete ticks instead of the one tick a second, which quartz does that I don't like.
Oh, and that was kind of my problem.
On my other wrist. Yes, that's right. I've got two on today.
Oh, that's overkill.
No. That's a fashion statement. I brought back the Knop New York 405, which I showed a couple of days ago. The one that pays homage to the Chrysler building.
Nice, yeah.
It's really beautiful. And Larry Knopf, the head of the company, he's done a very nice job. So I'm sure he's not listening today, but I want to thank him. And I think it was actually a Facebook ad in which I found this. So there you go.
They're both kind of like my problem in college. The date window is just too small. Thank you very much.
Mine was non-existent.
My shirt is a Jay Ward homage. This is all Jay Ward cartoon characters, and my all-time favorite, where I can't even get it up, but right down here, Super Chicken. Yeah. And his butler, Alfred, with the big F on his Letterman sweater. That was my favorite cartoon of all time, Super Chicken. Nobody seems to really remember Super Chicken. He was with George of the Jungle.
The American Professionals, a really cool band out of St. Louis. They remember because on their shows they do the Super Chicken theme as an opener.
I love it.
Yeah. So I don't know if Chuck's listening today, but they're a really good band. I see you have, of course, Boris Badenoff is on. My friends and I used to go to a record store in Brooklyn called Titus Oaks, and one of the guys there, we used to call him Boris and then just the Risk, because he really did look like Boris Badenoff. But here's the funny story. I ended up making friends through Facebook with a woman named Lisa, and I found out that her husband is that guy. His real name's Mario. But yeah. And I told her the story, and she said, "Yeah, I can see that." So I love it. Like when you say somebody looks like this type. You actually spelled it correctly, John. It doesn't have an E in it. So yeah, it's Jordan's brother.
Gosh.
Well, I just want to talk about one release before we bring on our guest. I'm very impressed with this. New album by Reno Bo.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, you have this?
Yep.
Never Nighttime on the Sun. Yeah, I'll just full disclosure. This one's going to finish very, very high on my list.
Great.
He's most of his albums are really, really good. Well, John, I mean, how would you necessarily know that it didn't have an E unless you knew the name? It had nothing to do with spelling. It just anyway. This guy, Reno's from Nashville, and there's definitely a Nashville feel to some of these songs, but there's also just some really lush pop. Yeah, there's some really lush pop on here. Yeah, you are smart. And also, it's John Borak's birthday tomorrow, so let's wish him a.
Yeah, he and I are birthday siblings almost, right next to each other. So. Yeah.
Anyway,
happy early birthday.
I extremely highly recommend that you go to Reno Bo's, probably through his Bandcamp. I think that's where I got it, and pick one of these up. This is a great pop record.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, really.
All right. So
this is our holiday spectacular, man. This show is going to be spectacular in many ways. We've got an unbelievable second-time guest joining us tonight.
Not a second time.
Not a second time. Yeah. He has to work his way up to 5 or 6 time guest John Borak with the paisley jacket that we gave him about a month ago. For that. But thank you for the happy birthday. But we've got a wonderful what, who, when huge trivia contest tonight. It's going to definitely be a bro down or a bash up. Somebody's going to come out a winner in this very neat trivia with a twist this evening. The twists are going to be fun. Going to have a good time. So I know our guest is already tipping the tequila in anticipation, but take it from here, David.
Well, as we all know, all of us who are listening, he is, like I said, he is the paterfamilias of this here pop scene. No doubt about it. Through his efforts with NotLame Recordings, both the label and the mail order company. And then Pop Geek Heaven and everything else that he's done. He's the man really who's most responsible for the the flourishing of the pop scene in the 90s. And yeah, he definitely got the momentum going. And it wouldn't be what it is today if not for him. So we're honored to have him back. We're honored to call him a friend. Would you please give a huge material issues welcome to Mr. Bruce Brodeen?
And there he is. There he is.
Boom! Kapow!
Where's my applausometer? Oh,
It's like, I think I said this when you
Where's
were
my
on.
best side here? Oh, let's see. We're gonna go
a little bit. 180. Yeah.
I think I said this.
There we go.
Bruce, I think I said this 2 years ago when you were on, but
What? That I was a legend? I missed that part in this introduction. Jeez.
you had
Hey, Tim.
God, I'm hurt. I'm out of here.
to relate to one of our earlier guests, but no.
Yeah.
When I started doing IPO, particularly the first 4 years or so, no matter what city I was in, invariably people would come up to me. Yeah, people would come up to me and they would ask, "Is Bruce Brodeen here?" That would be the most common question I would ever get regarding anything to do with IPO. They want to know if you were here. Many of them hadn't met you, but you had built up such a mystique. And, this was yeah, right. This was, God, I'm never going to get any words out with all these comments coming in. But it wasn't pre-internet, but it was pre-appearing on things like this. A lot of people, yeah.
We're reading John's.
Oh my God, I don't even know. I don't think I can do this.
Continue. I mean, just let it wash over.
It's good. Let it wash over you.
Yeah.
No, I mean this was before people were showing up on video casts like this. A lot of people didn't know what you looked like because you didn't have your photo in your catalogs.
Right.
People hadn't spoken with you even. Well, some had, but most hadn't. They may have exchanged an email or two, but you had built up an incredible mystique, and everybody wanted to meet you. I mean, bands, fans, everybody. And
yeah, that was a special time. Those in the mid-late 90s and the early noughties. I mean, those were the Halicon days, certainly for NotLame too, in its extended history for sure. But it was a special touch time for all of us. And it literally was thousands. There was the community was worldwide, and it was thousands, and the internet was new, and one of those unknown entities as to how it would connect us all to each other. And we just sort of went by instinct. That was certainly NotLame's sort of modus operandi, and my kind of reflex on how to do things. And it was just like, wow. I had the ability to connect thousands of people together, and we're all kind of the same cloth, where we were these music geeks that were bonded by this special passion for having open minds to many different music genres. But certainly power pop was a connective tissue and DNA that was unique inside the NotLame world. But there were so many variants that connected the power pop genre, so many other subgenres. And it was really one of the great blessings of my life to be able to become friends with so many people that were just similar to us. Mm-hmm. And we speak the same language, and in our hometowns where we lived, people just kind of didn't get what was up with Mark, David, and Bruce. And John, certainly John, they didn't get what was up with him. There was no doubt about that.
No, they still don't.
They still don't.
Yeah, I mean, that was a given.
There's a lot of underlying things there.
But it was, and it's still, and here's the thing, it still is. 30 years later, 25 years later, we're all still friends. These bonds just don't wither away. They become more emboldened and connected and grounded into really what matters for us in terms of the value system that we have, which is the experience, the
Yeah.
journey into finding that next great band or rediscovering something that we missed and overlooked that you, Mark, know and you, David, know about, and turning each other on to that. That spark just keeps you young and alive. I'm fully convinced of that.
Yeah, that's the that's the thing that everybody I talk to that has the passion for it. That's the thing they talk about, is that spark for that next thing that you hear that just makes everything tingle and makes you want to do it again. It's an addiction in many ways, and you got to have it, and you seek it out, and it's the best. And how great was it, when you picked up your mail, David, and all of a sudden you saw that logo,
Look at that.
and there was a catalog in front of your hands.
Yeah. There were 14 or 15 of those catalogs that were printed out over the years, and they became bigger and bigger. And the last one was a full color extravaganza, spectacular.
So, I mean, we're all familiar with NotLame, but let's talk about that. Why NotLame? Why the name? What's the genesis of the?
It was a really simple sort of origin story. And my wife and I lived in Los Angeles from 87 to 93. I was working in the music industry in the 80s there, and I took a detour running a hair care company, believe it or not, for 3 or 4 years, making shampoo and conditioner. That's another sidebar.
Your hair still looks good, Bruce.
Your hair looks.
I still got it.
You look
pretty good for
marvelous.
61.
A lot better than this.
Wait, David, you missed a great joke there. You could have said, "Yeah, I was a customer."
Yeah,
I was a customer.
Yeah. But anyway, it was we sort of my wife and I with Ruth sold everything that we had in 93. We were just burnt out of life in LA. I got caught in the Rodney King riots, and had to kind of run for my life. And I was like, you know what? Sod this off. I mean, it's like, it's time to go. And we moved back to Colorado because we lived in Colorado in Boulder for a few years in the mid 80s, and just sort of landed in Aspen. And the very first ski day in 1994, this was the second summer living in Aspen. I was going up a chairlift by myself. It was just a beautiful, epic powder day. And I just had this spark that literally came out of nowhere. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start a record label. And I'm thinking of, okay, so what am I going to do? Well, the world doesn't need another punk label. I was weaned on Iggy and the Dolls and the Runaways and MC5 as a very precocious kid in the early 70s, Mark Bolan. But there was plenty of punk labels. And I was exchanging AOL emails with people like Jordan Oakes and John Borak. This is 92, 93, maybe even 91 with Jordan and other people too. And we were exchanging want lists, the written want lists of stuff, and trading tapes. And I was already coming across these amazing power pop artists inside the Yellow Pills energy module. It was a whole that fanzine. Is Jordan here? Gotta be awesome. But I was I have just moved to Hilton Head Island after 32 years in Colorado, so I'm unboxing stuff. And literally this morning, I came across a copy of the Yellow Pills compendium, and very much. And I've always been very public about this, consistently from the very beginning to now and forevermore. That Yellow Pills mattered so much because it was an affirmation that there were people like us out there.
Exactly. I always say the same thing.
Yeah. It was taken from that inspiration. that thread going up the lift, I'm like, I'm going to do a power pop label without a clue of how to do anything. And by the time I got off of the lift, the first name that came to my head was NotLame. That was it. NotLame. It's going to be called NotLame. I got off the chairlift at the top of Aspen Mountain, which is called Ajax. Got off the chairlift, went into to the lodge, found a napkin, and I wrote the name down and put it into my jacket. I still have that. I haven't seen it in years, and I know it's in the move, but I don't know where it is. But anyway, that was just an instinct. It was never any other name, and I figured my wife would hate it. So therefore, it was the perfect name.
So it came seemingly at random.
It absolutely did.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, it wasn't that I had any sort of genius inspiration. It really, without yellow pills, I don't know. I really don't. I don't know if I would have done it, because I just didn't know. I knew there were others that I could find, and this is before, the internet was just getting going.
Yeah.
In late '94, and it was very embryonic, and nowhere near. But within a year, I put up the first website, which is out there. You can see those first incarnations on archive.org.
Really?
Yeah. You go to archive.org and put the URLs in, and you can see. I think it was January '96 is the first grab. Of NotLame.com. And check it out. If you can do a screen grab, Mark, you can find while we're talking here. That would be kind of fun if you're able to share that.
I think no matter what, we all have, Bruce, we all have something that inspired us. I mean, I'm sure I wouldn't have done IPO if not for Poptopia.
Yeah, and Tony Perkins. It's funny how that all connects, because Tony was one of those first NotLame artists. Releases, and he just sparked that out. I would fly out for the Poptopias and met and hang with you and a whole bunch of other people, John, Jordan, and just a whole host of other early fans of all this activity. And when you started it, I remember you were like, you kind of wanted Tony's blessing that it was going to be okay, and that it wasn't going to be an issue there. And I guess for about a year they sort of coexisted.
They coexisted for a few years, actually.
Yeah, was it a few years? Yeah.
But Tony decided he wanted to concentrate on Martin Luther Lennon.
Yeah.
And he gave Poptopia over to Larry Mann, his partner, who then gave it over to Jennifer Teft, and blah 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 blah, and it then fizzled out. Yeah. But yeah, I did want Tony's blessing, and I only got it. I only got a smidge of a blessing from him, but he did give me the contact info that I needed. And I took it from there.
Yeah, you certainly did. I mean, this is one of the great legacies in the power pop world that you've created. That it's going on after all these years. We can talk about legacies and legends. David Bash, you are at the Pantheon.
Yep. Yes, indeed. But it's amazing just how much. I mean, I'm talking to David, I think last week, when we were first met and how long it's been, and it's just it's really been a long ride. It's been fantastic, and we're still doing new interesting stuff. So, how cool is that?
Yeah. So, but going back to the origin, there was, we were all trading tapes back then. CDRs weren't a thing yet in 1994, 95.
Tape tree. Yeah.
Yeah. And we had tape trees that we were part of. Remember, getting those boxes in, it was so much work compiling all those. We were all sort of part of that. Eventually, NotLame kind of took off, and I just didn't have the time to participate in the tape trees. I don't know, sometime in late '96 or so, as I recall. But it was such a joy, because it was exactly what it was all about. It was about music discovery, leveraging other people's knowledge, and their passions and channeling it in through the conduit of a cassette tape, and finding out what other people knew that we didn't know. That was the goal, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you what was lame. I'll tell you what was lame, Bruce. Me and Jordan Oakes, none of us knew how to do any artwork. So our tapes were just simply handwritten. Everybody else was doing this great art on the computer. Even back in '96, they were doing something. And ours were like the sloppiest ones. Well, my handwriting was neat, but that's all.
Yeah, mine was the problem. I had to do it in whatever computer program that I was using in
everyone else. Yeah, everyone else's were really well presented, and me and Jordan are just like it's all just handwriting. But the songs were the most important thing, anyway.
It's remarkable. It's remarkable. So, when you developed this idea on the ski lift chair, and you jumped off and wrote down NotLame, and wondered what that meant a day later. Where'd you go from there? I mean, what was your idea? How were you going to start a power pop? You know, I mean,
so this is late '94, so November '94, and I took action pretty much right away, and I was already trading tapes and receiving tapes, and God, I think it was on an AOL board. I kind of put out a casting call that, hey, I'm starting up a label. It's going to be focusing in on power pop, and I got all these cassettes. I just remember, and here's the thing. God, I hope people find this interesting, because it is sort of arcane. But it is if you're into power pop, this is. And you're listening to it or discovering it now or have recently, it's really important to understand that what was going on in this time in the mid '90s was really a laboratory, and the center of it was Los Angeles, undeniably. There was a little bit here and there. Sure, there's stuff going on in Chicago. Sure, there's stuff going on in Nashville. Sure, there's stuff going on in New York City. Sure, there's a little bit going on in Spain and London, but Los Angeles was special for a whole long list of reasons that David can talk about more than I. But I lived there, so it's a center of the music business community, obviously, and there's lots of talent that's off the charts. And a lot of bands were forming organically. And I noticed very quickly within the first month or two that a bulk of the tapes that I was getting, and they were cassette tapes, and the occasional album or formally pressed cassette tapes, professionally made, were coming from Los Angeles. And it was just really overwhelming and affirming. And it just, I had so much that I all of a sudden realized, what am I going to do here? I only have so much money. How much, and I didn't start it as a business. I started it as a passion project. And, how much can I afford to lose?
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what I was really doing. I'd run this hair care company, and I honed some business skills and kind of understood how to run a business based upon that experience. And ironically enough, what I did in the music business earlier was have no bearing on NotLame's future success.
Right. Okay.
That was really what helped me a lot. But there were so many artists, and I was like, what am I going to do here? And I decided to have one of the world's worst ideas right out of the bat, which was, I'm going to do a compilation. Okay, well, that's fine. There's lots of compilations, but I did a compilation with 5 bands, 4 songs each. And I thought I was touched by the gods. That is genius. People are going to emulate this amazing, unique, fresh idea that comes from the mountaintops of this vision of NotLame recordings. To this day, not one single label has ever done such a release. Not one.
That's true.
Not a single one. Oh, it's true, isn't it, Dave? I mean, you have the magnetic, trap of a memory. Not a single label has ever done it. But at the time, it was my response to being overwhelmed and wanting to honor the music, because what I wanted to do with a compilation that had 5 bands, 4 songs each, was allow the listener the chance not to just have one brand. It was very intentional, and I don't think it was a bad idea. I'm actually joking, but the idea was that these bands have a artistic vision that they want to encapsulate, and they don't have the ability to release a record on their own. Why not release a mini record like an EP, encapsulate the best of their songs and put it out there, so the fan, the listener of this music would have an experience that had a larger spectrum that it could journey onto 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 songs, and really get a more full scoped version and experience of what that band was about.
And you're so right.
That was symphony.
Back then, most bands couldn't put out their own record. It was
absolutely not.
It was cost prohibitive.
It was so hard.
It was technology prohibitive. It was impossible. Labels like yours were absolutely essential back then.
I love the comment.
Landed in Oz yet? What was that comment? I missed something there.
John Kirby
says it might.
Oh, it's John Kirby. Hey, brother John.
Face is the only part of me that's black and white.
Yeah, your face did drop out there, Dave, in the middle of all that.
Okay.
And then someone followed up with, his face hasn't landed in Oz yet. That's great.
That's got to be John Borak.
Actually, he looked like an Oompa Loompa there for a bit. But a gray Oompa Loompa. Like an overly gray, not a green Oompa Loompa, orange Oompa Loompa. I'm sorry.
Doop-a-dee-doop. Oh, never mind.
So anyway, that was the vision behind the first releases that NotLame did with the first compilation, and I don't know how many compilations. I never tallied it up properly. NotLame released about 130 some odd CDs. Of those CDs, probably 50 compilations and almost 20 international pop overthrow compilations, because David and I sort of partnered with that, but each IPO is obviously Dave's vision.
Right.
But I did in compilations, I took a lot of pride in putting those compilations together and think they really do hold up extremely well.
Yes.
Give a platform to be able to hear bands that people would not have otherwise heard.
Yeah. And isn't it, I've thought about this from time to time with Pop Detective Records, and obviously David has put out many IPO compilations and NotLame tons of CDs as well. But that's a tangible physical product, and it does live in the digital world that is going to be around in people's hands as long as the planet doesn't blow up for like generations to come. It's just a neat, tangible, physical object that we've all created, and to me, I just think that it's just so cool to have been a part of creating that. And
before I forget, I'm going to throw in this. Because for me, it's all about keeping this legacy kind of going. And if anybody comes across this recording, or certainly here live, if anybody wants to direct message me, it would be my honor to share. I have digital files of the NotLame catalog that for most of it, not all of it, because I would really be honored, and I would love to give that to you.
Cool.
And because the thing is I want this stuff to live on. NotLame ended in early 2011, and
Wow.
the music having these afterlives. So because it really wasn't about the label, it really wasn't about me, and the people that worked for me and the hard work that we did. It was always artist driven, and it's their work, their creative energy, endeavor, manifestation that they brought into the world, and I just stepped alongside that, and provided a way for it to be heard by, ideally and hopefully, a larger audience.
Now, did Symphony, like, did it like take off sales wise and blow you away
No.
with it, or at what point in NotLame's early incarnation did you recognize that, whoa, something, people are getting into this? Was there a certain release that came out that all of a sudden made you say, this is, some people are paying attention?
I think the 80-20 Pareto rule applies. 80% of the output, well, actually 20% of the output created 80% of the revenue for the label, and on the label side of things. So most releases didn't do particularly well. Everybody always wants to know, and nobody likes to answer this stuff from an indie label standpoint. But I'm unafraid. I'd say most NotLame releases back in the day sold anywhere from 300 to 1,000 copies.
Right. Yeah.
Which is not bad at all, I should point out.
Yeah, but the industry always, looked at that as still probably Loserville. But in the little niche of power pop and what we were doing, it allowed it a certain level of viability to be able to continue, but not certainly profitable, because when you got to keep in mind there's overhead. I had staff, I had office, I had insurance, and I had taxes, and I mean there were salaries, and there's all kinds of stuff.
You know what, Bruce? Fuck the industry, and I'll tell you why. We were as much.
Tell me why, Mr. Bash.
We were as much.
Ready.
We were as much
Mark,
a part of the industry as everybody else. No, we were as much a part of the industry as everybody else. And one thing I could never stand, as you point out, in LA, everything was happening. One of the things that was happening would be a lot of networking meetings, and I would go to those, which is where I met the guys from the Tearaways, by the way. But I would go to those, and there'd always be these label people, these A&R people, acting haughtier than thou, and always name dropping, like who they had lunch with and whatever.
Oh, big time! Boy, do I remember those days.
Used to burn my butt. But you know what? Where are they now? I'll tell you one thing: they don't have jobs in the industry anymore.
Get a load of this, though.
We're still here. We are still here.
Yeah.
So,
do you remember who Tom Zautout is?
No.
So he was a really big A&R guy at Geffen Records back in the hairband days. This is totally anecdotally. And if you were, we were all David, you and I were in LA then. And I moved out in '87. I kind of worked in the industry at labels during this time, and it was all hair bands, right? From 1987 to 91 or 90, everything was hair bands. And boy, I was in a lot of those crazy clubs, and like a lot of guys, I was an aspiring A&R guy too. Matter of fact, I came this close. I was the last of 2 people to get an A&R gig at Capitol Records. I don't know if I ever told you this, David. Yeah, that's a whole other story with how I was that close, and I didn't get the nod, obviously, but I made it to the last part. When was this? In 88 or 89? Anyway, came close, and like a lot of goofy people, I thought that was the pinnacle. That was the top of the mountain, kind of thing. Despite knowing what exactly you just said. The smarmy kind of areas there, and I'm convinced I would have lost my soul
Yes, you would have.
Yeah. And
1,000,000%.
Yeah, praise God. Quite literally, that he had a plan different than my own, and it was a much better one. Anyway, it's what was my point here? Oh, this guy Tom. So he signed Guns N' Roses, and he was a very important A&R guy, and everybody wanted to be him, and he made a lot of money. And he became the head of A&R. I think he went from Geffen to another label. I think he went to a larger label afterwards. He was the bomb, baby. I don't even know how. I speak German, but I'm not even sure his Zautout. I don't even know how to properly say his name. Anyway, he's a used car salesman now. I'm sure he kicks ass, and he's an awesome one. And he's the best. And I'm not doing that to chagrin him at all. Because I'm guessing he probably chose this and burnt out of the industry and all the crap that went with it. And he had to find a way back to do, to find himself again. If he ever watches this, Tom, I admire the path that he's taken, but you never know what's going to happen. You just, everybody has a walk of humility and shame that you go in when you work in this business. It's one of those untold stories. I had my own. That's another podcast. I lost a lot of money at the end. It was heart-wrenching, and it was brutal. And, I had my own path of recovery and rediscovery that I had to go in. Everybody that works in this at a certain level has a trail of tears, to use a trite kind of metaphor connected to the American Indian. But we all have that. And you doing International Pop Overthrow after all these years, I don't know if I lived in LA, I'm sure we would have had lots of tear-stained conversations, David, you and I, about the hard times and the valleys.
My God, Rena.
Absolutely.
Rena and I have had lots and lots.
Yeah.
And thank God for her, because there are times where I wanted to hang it up.
Absolutely.
To be fair, his used cars come with vixens writhing on the hood.
There's got to be a heavy metal reference that I'm not getting.
That's like every heavy metal.
Seriously, man. I shouldn't have mentioned names like that, Tom. I'll probably get some sort of random flaming kind of
twist
thing.
And shout in Denver.
It wasn't meant like that. Hey there, Brian.
We might as well say it right now, Brian. We'll say it on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Kiss is not powerful.
That's for John.
No, it's both me and John. We're both outspoken.
Yeah, no,
Bruce, thanks to Robin
Shell.
Shell. Robin Shell just texted me this. We're going to pop this up on the screen because he had time to.
There you go.
There you go, Robin. Thank you very much for doing that. Thank you
for doing that.
Thanks, Robin.
So, wow. So here you go. Let's have a laugh at my expense, of which we're going to have a lot of them here, because I'm going to get my ass kicked by Bash in a sec, later in the thing here. But you got to come up with a tag phrase, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just as that instinct of you can take this off the screen.
And now I'm still reading it.
So just as that, the NotLame was the first name that instinctively came out of my consciousness and became manifest and brought into the world, I had to come up with a tagline, because every business has to brand themselves and come up with something pithy and profound. And we're talking about power pop, hooks and melodies and all this. So I came up with not for them. Melodically still. What the hell? What did I do? Not for the melodically stillborn. What? Offensive to the highest degree.
Oh my gosh, you were just trying to alienate.
I never even thought of it that way, Bruce.
Oh yeah, I know. Neither did I.
But yeah,
I didn't. But neither did I. I did get one. I did get one email from somebody, and I don't know who. Around 90, maybe late 95, early 96. Shortly after that came into the world, And I realized, that's awful.
And 96,
That's
it wasn't as
terrible.
offensive as it would be now. But yeah,
but still, I push up against the political correctness and stuff like that. So if anything, I like to lean into offending the sensibilities of delicate little woke souls.
thank you.
But
You and me both, Bruce.
oh God, yeah, don't even get me going. But it was not one of my finer moments, and I certainly, it does not put any feather of pride into my headdress.
But good music for good people. Now
and there you go. And that this is fun to talk about this, because I've never talked about this. I've done dozens and dozens of interviews over the years. And what is so true about that. So I went from the next thing that popped up just as quickly as the name did. And it was good music for good people, because that was what my experience was with everybody that was sending me tapes and sending out. Oh, by the way, the answer to the question of where I found attraction was the label couldn't, I'm going to tie this all together here. The label couldn't release everything, obviously, but I was getting all this amazing music self-released by bands that didn't have distribution.
Right.
And they had CDs or cassette tapes. And I was like, they have no distribution. Nobody cares about them. Record stores don't want them. Certainly distributors don't want them. And I'm like, well, I was a big fan of the indie alt rock mail order companies, of which there were a lot in the early mid 90s. There was a lot. And I'm, being a punk kid, as well as a hard rock guy, I was buying a lot of independent alternative music, which, by the way, Brian at Twist and Shout bought a lot of this when I sold my record collection recently to Twist and Shout. That's another story we can talk about later if you want. Because that stuff turned out to be worth quite a lot of money. But I was way into that stuff. But I was inspired by those mail order companies, from a lot of them out of Chicago. And to say, you know what, I'm gonna sell other people's music.
That was going to be my next question. How did you become from just, I'm going to put a compilation together, to, working your way towards being really a distributor, a cataloger, and selling everything? So you're, it's all coming in. All these cassettes are coming in, and you're realizing that, wow, these are people that don't have anywhere to focus. That
I actually knew you as I knew you more as a mail order company than a label at first.
Yeah, and a lot of people.
Brian showed me the catalog.
Yeah, and again, we'll go back to the 80-20 rule. Well, it turned out, very quickly from 1996 on to the very end, that 80% of the sales were the mail order over the label, by a long shot, very much so. And I crunched those numbers all the time. And it was always within a couple percentage points every year. And at one point, NotLame hit 1 million in sales in selling power pop, which is mind-boggling when you really think about it. It was like, holy cow, there was 1 million of little sprinkling dollars connected to selling power pop. And we got people laughed at that. Remember how it was to have that tag? It was a scarlet letter. And I'd like to think that a lot of the activity connected to the mail order and having the music getting out there, and other people being inspired, like Mark, to start their own label, it was a counterpoint to that narrative that the music industry was constantly pushing down, and the intelligentsia of music geeks looking down on the genre and saying it was, ephemera and it didn't matter. And it wasn't like I took umbrage and I was angry about it. It was like, well, no, all you have to do is listen to the music and look at the success of all these other people, NotLame included in there, saying, okay, well, we have something to say, damn it. And here it is, affirmed by, NotLame had a database of 15,000 people when it ended. Wow. That bought directly from us without distribution. and without playing by the rules of the industry, and going direct to the fan, and communicating with them relationally and personally. And in those catalogs, we had our own parlance, we had our own language that we spoke, and we dropped the names of artists that sounded like. And that's what people instinctively, this is why I think it was a success, is because it honored how we communicated to ourselves and to other people.
Yeah.
And they say, hey, he gets me.
Yeah.
And I will try. And the way he describes this band, I am going to give him my trust, and I'm going to spend $12 on this CD based upon what he says.
Yep.
And I hope it's going to be okay. And that I worked so hard. I wrote 10,000 mini reviews over the years to be able to do that, to connect to people in a way that honored them taking the chance of buying something from
with that in mind,
that.
Bruce, where did extremely highly recommended come from?
See, another question I've never been asked. That's great. That was, I wish if I had thought of it early on, very quickly. Obviously, it became a tiered kind of thing. People could research. You're laughing because you could discern, like, hey, how much is Bruce excited about this one? And I wish I had come up with a more highbrow kind of empirical kind of laddering, but
not
it
necessary.
just sort of became recommended, very highly recommended, extremely highly recommended. I mean, I wish there was some more chemistry involved here.
It wasn't necessary. We got it.
Yeah,
but you're absolutely
between the lines.
You're absolutely right with the description. When you said the descriptions, it sounds like, because that's how it was almost like a wonderful pyramid scheme, not in a bad way, because I would buy a CD from NotLame, and then next catalog that came out, it would be an artist I didn't hear of, but it was relating to the one I had just purchased previously. Sounds like
interesting.
So if you like this, you're gonna. So I would trust you with that money, because
I went by your reference points more than anything, because I knew you didn't have
absolutely. And
I knew you didn't have exactly the same. You didn't have exactly the same taste as I did.
We didn't have like sound bites. You couldn't listen to this stuff.
Right.
This is the thing that people have to understand in the history of things. You couldn't listen to it.
Yeah.
And there was companies like, I remember I met Derek Sivers at a music business conference in 1996, I think, and he had started CD Baby. And CD Baby. Derek was a legend.
Derek was the best speaker on panels that I have.
Oh my God, yes, he was great.
And you
were
to be great too, Bruce. But
Derek was a visionary, and he's a brilliant man with an amazing vision and heart for the artist that I think is unsurpassed. However, when I met him in '96, NotLame was starting to get some traction. I forget, I met him, I think, in New York at some sort of music business event, and somebody introduced us and said, I was familiar with CD Baby. He was in upstate New York at the time. And his vision was very different than mine, which is what he didn't want to and there's no right or wrong. His path was super successful. Mine, I wanted to focus only on what I thought was good, because I wanted people to buy the music from NotLame and have a certain level of qualitative achievement, based upon, some arbitrage here, some arbitrary arbiting of what was good connected to me in those early years, right? And that's not neither here nor there, but you've got to trust me to some degree. And right. Derek was any independent musician is good, and we're going to let the market decide. We're going to let the fans decide. and their fan bases will buy the CDs from CD Baby. And he believed in the purity of the artistic expression at a much higher level than I did.
Well, he was trying to gain a wider audience.
Absolutely. And of all genres. And I wanted to focus in on this because I wanted to represent this community, which we didn't call it a community then. But and he just became massively successful. And it's not that I poo-pooed him, but I at all, because it was clearly this guy was a visionary when I met him, and I was in awe. What's that?
I'm sorry, I was looking at Carl Caffarelli's comment here. Said thought it was well said.
Yeah, I mean, and he was just, he's a legend, and he's a thought. In what is that resulted in? I mean, he's a great human being. I mean, of the highest level. He sold his company for almost $20 million, and he gave away most of that money to charity and to musician endeavors.
Wow.
You didn't know that?
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did. And he's written books, and he's a thought leader, of course, because he's a special human being representing the independent music scene unlike anybody over the last 30 years. Yeah, he's just a righteous man. But NotLame had a different vision, and it was much more myopic and much more limiting and much more hyper-focused. And that was, I knew I was making a decision to probably have more hardship than Hardy Awesome, Happy Days ahead of me. But it was just kind of how I wanted to go, for better and worse.
We really needed that, Bruce, because as soon as the internet came around, we were so bombarded with all this stimulation, all this stimuli out there, that there was no way that we could possibly make sense out of it all. It was just too much, and we had to reduce it to its basic. We had to reduce it to its basic factors, and we never really understood. With you being as myopic as you were, we were able to concentrate heavily on what you were trying to provide for us.
And there were thousands of releases, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't like it was limiting.
Yeah.
I mean, there was tons of amazing musicians and bands that were making music under the umbrella of power pop and all its various variants and subgenres that sprouted out of all that. Yeah. So it wasn't like there was a dearth of talent meritorious of people's attention. It was always there, and it just needed people to sort of wave the flag. Here's where we stand, and if you choose to hang with me, let's spend some time together.
Now, as you talked about, Bruce, you said there were more. You knew there'd be a little more, probably more hardships than hard. What'd you call it? Hard something. Hard. I was going to say hard-ons.
Hard knocks. Yeah.
But in the early days of the label,
the only hard-ons in power pop were self-induced. That was the problem.
Were there moments, Bruce, that something happened with a release or an artist or a review or something that made you go, yeah, all right, and now I got to do it again, and now and I got to do it with with more of this. And
are you asking me about like low valleys and hard times kind of thing, which is perfectly fine if that's what you're asking. Yeah. I'm completely transparent about that. Yeah, there was something that I got. It's just a matter of time in the music industry before you're going to get a writ. And I did in 2003. And I came home, and Ruth had, there was a FedEx package, and it was thick, and it had a bunch of stuff, and lo and behold, I'm getting sued. NotLame's at its. I don't know if I have talked about. I'm sure I've talked about this probably before, but yeah, maybe not. But anyway, this is kind of interesting, and people just don't know about this stuff. But what happened? It was a really, really significant event in the history of NotLame, because it ultimately, took all the headwinds out at the height of the mountain. You hit that. NotLame's
unfortunately, I know this story, and just such bad luck. But anyway, go ahead.
It's brutal, and it really devastated other people's lives. But I'll try to be brief here, but it's interesting and sort of informative in the underbelly of things. And we might as well just, stay real here. So what happened was there was a label, I'm not going to mention names here.
Sure.
With this, that small passion-driven label that did these compilations and of things that we're gonna, like we talk about with well, I don't know if we're gonna get a chance to talk about LUFO at all, but lost, unreleased, forgotten, overlooked music.
We're getting there.
And did these collections there, and they were just passion driven, very small run, maybe 100 copies, 200 copies tops. And NotLame, amongst the many thousands of independent releases from artists and small labels from all over the world, carried these compilations, of which I ordered 10 copies at a time. Also from which maybe sometimes I sold 18 copies of them, sometimes I sold 10, sometimes I sold 6. Well, it turns out this one compilation that I sold all of 6 copies, which I saw recently because I looked through, I had a stack of legal stuff in this move that I had to, like, okay, the weight of re-experiencing that inside the stress of the move that I just did recently really hit me pretty hard. I hadn't really let it hit the heart in a while. And I sold 6 copies of this CDs, and I was being sued along with 4 other people, I think it was, 3 other labels, maybe it was 4 other small online record stores and stores, because one song in that compilation hadn't been cleared, and it turned out it was by an artist that was never made it, at least one 7-inch single. And they never made it big. And it turns out he was just a frustrated guy, but he became a lawyer, this guy. And he became a lawyer for the Department of Justice.
Oh, Lord.
And obviously no names. But you got to put it in. But I mean, I could see where he was coming from. And I never had a chance to talk to him about it. And I tried to in the depositions to understand, like, what the ethos of NotLame and these other small passion-driven companies was that, hey, look, nobody cares about this music, and all we want to do is to have it sort of live on and have some representation and some distribution. If somebody's got a problem with that, just raise your hand and we'll figure it out.
Right.
Hey, we're all in the same boat together. We're just music fans and geeks. And so they, I hope this isn't really boring or maudlin.
No, I think this is fascinating.
Is it serious?
I know that. I should
do a check-in here. Yeah, but I should do a check-in here. We got an audience here. This is
this isn't boring at all. This is sad.
No, this is behind
the
scenes.
It's actually very pathetic.
I'm
not on your part, but on theirs.
I really want to be clear here. I'm not whining. And this is all part. Okay, thanks, Rich. I appreciate that. This is just part of the gig when you go into this world.
Yeah.
But anyway, he keep in mind, in 2003 you have Napster, and I was at South by Southwest in 1999 when Sean Fanning was speaking on a panel talking about Napster and getting screamed down by music executives. And I'm in the audience amongst a couple hundred people. And, he's the devil. People saw the writing in 1999. And I'm going, holy shit, this is the future. What am I going to do about this? So music was being downloaded and there was no compensation structures in place. And so his point was, hey, he had his own flag that he was planting, saying, I'm going to represent, I've been wronged, and I'm going to be represented here, and I'm going to take on these bad people, which were really small people. We were very, very small. And I was the biggest and the most successful of the people that were getting sued. But and I got the point, and it was like, hey, I get it. But here, listen to me. This is what we're all about. And we just didn't want to hear it. And because he had a righteous point where he just was intractable and didn't want to look at a different point of view. And I get it. But I just wish I could have been heard out, because what happened was these other people were devastated. Their lives were fucked, and they were bankrupted, and they lost their their businesses and their passion and their thing. And I just had enough cash flow and money to be able to pay the legal bills, which were in the tens of thousands of dollars.
Wow.
Tens. And
I thought it was just
and
10. Okay. Wow.
No, tens of thousands.
Wow.
And yeah, and it took and at the height of NotLame, it just, there's only so much cash flow you can pay to lawyers. And it really, in the end, it was the beginning of the end.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Bruce, may
I made it another 7-8 years, but I mean, I never recovered from it.
May I say something here, Bruce? May I say something here?
Yeah,
My 2
absolutely.
cents in, which might only be worth 2 cents. You're being very, very kind. Maybe the years have softened your position. I don't know, and I don't know how you felt back then, but that guy was a motherfucker. I did not see his position. He was part of the what was he, an attorney general?
He worked for the Department of Justice, which is the great irony, right? So he represented himself, which was he technically what he did was wrong legally. It's a whole nother story.
Right.
My lawyer was appalled by what he was doing.
Well, I don't,
because it was designed to bleed money from us. He didn't want to settle.
He was one of those guys who liked to do things because he could. He just wanted to tweak you. That's all.
Well,
he didn't look. Bruce, we know how many of these compilations have come out. The late Greg.
I know. It wouldn't have held up with the copyright law, David.
Everyone who was on these compilations whose music was being released without their permission, without compensation, everyone to a letter was really flattered. All they said, and Greg Shaw told me, everyone said, thank you for putting our record out. Everybody forgot about us. And now you're actually bringing us back to people who like what we hear. There are thousands upon thousands of those songs that have come out on compilations. You just bad luck into the one guy who decided to pick you because he could. And he knew he was going to mess you. He knew you didn't even put the damn thing out. You had no idea. You had no idea that record. But
the technicality with the law is that you are. I mean, there's a technical aspect to the law there that mentioned that he was absolutely right to articulate and assert. But
he should have sent you a cease and desist. Just said, don't put this out anymore. That's all he should have done.
But here's the thing.
Guy, maybe a little more. But even him, I don't think, because again, you look at the percentages. It's not like a whole bunch of people were complaining. Nobody was, just him.
Right. And I was, and he set it up very strategically and legally and all that. However, and I'm defending him to some degree because I'm a lifelong independent politically. I can see the whole spectrum of views and other people's point of view, and I put it in the context of the time. And he had a point of view that the independent artist, which was the narrative, if you recall back then when the downloading was going on, was they're getting raped, they're not being compensated again, and that's the thing. Again, independent artists and artists are getting fucked over by record labels, by industry machinery, and there's a point there, and I got it. I just didn't have a chance to be able to say, hey, can we talk? So you can kind of see where, at least me, where I was coming from, and these thousands of other people who are just like you at the end of the day. So I'm a Christian, and I believe you just have to kind of let this stuff go, and it all happens for a reason, and you don't understand it. It created immense, deep, profound pain.
Thank
for
God
me and
you're
certainly
a Christian,
the others.
Bruce. Thank God you're a Christian, because if it was me, I'd be going and finding that guy and beating him senseless. Because
no, I was never that way then, and I wouldn't want it. And that's not the point here. But I mean, there isn't any point here actually, other than saying here's what happened in the archaeology, in the post-mortem of NotLame, and that. But it's part of the story. It's something that
That's a big part of the story. That's what's so fascinating.
I mean, it took 7 years for the end to happen, but I mean, it just literally sucked the soul. I never was able to recover from it. I rationalized that I was, but but these are important points. Artists need to have,
thank you, Carl.
compensatory structures in place, ideally, for their output. And sometimes it doesn't work that way with people that are unknown and don't make it. So what happens to that music that is so on the margins, that never gets heard, that will never have be able to participate in the compensatory structure of the music industry? And what happens to them? Well, this is kind of what happens. You just have this so-called kind of not kosher kind of presentations, but what's the alternative? It withers away, dies, it's forgotten about, and it goes into the Netherlands of nothingness.
Right.
And that was what was so clear to me always then, and still is now. And it's imperfect. But I want this. I think the music that this guy made, and thousands and countless tens of thousands of other artists, deserves to here now to be heard as well, to be given a fair shake, to say, hey, that's a pretty good song. I like that, which is what that song was, that I was sued for, that I didn't put out, and that I didn't do it. And I sold 6 copies. I made a gross profit of $30. And my net profit was, 4 times 6, there you go. There's my.
Now, if you went to those 6 people and asked for those CDs back, is everything okay then?
Yeah. What happened to them? Did those 6 people get it?
Oh no, that doesn't work that way.
I'm just teasing.
But
funny.
it doesn't. But this is the great matter of life we live in, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just we're imperfect human beings doing the best that we can, and so is he.
You know what?
If I met him, if I met him, I would absolutely shake his hand say, "Hey, let's talk. Let's hang." I just want to understand, because it's
wouldn't it be interesting to understand? Yeah, wouldn't it be interesting to understand? Yeah,
that's great of you, Bruce. That's really great of you.
Seriously, I just wouldn't. There wouldn't be any lingering anger whatsoever.
Well, I mean, there doesn't need to be in the grand scheme of things. It would be great to just understand.
No,
And
that's a very healthy
Yeah,
attitude.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
a very, very
Yeah.
healthy attitude.
Well,
Because-
it gives me a long life too.
because to look
And
someone
him,
in the eye
too.
and say, I'd like to understand why you did this and why, you know, you made an arc of my life go like this for this, you know, for this cause. Why was that an important thing for you? And then that would drive him further to his knees than any baseball bat
Kill
could.
him.
You
Kill
know?
I
him with
wouldn't want that.
kindness.
Seriously, I wouldn't want that.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
I'm
it was
saying.
just because we all make bad decisions.
The
and
first song,
we screw up.
right?
We really
The
do.
first song on the
Hi,
great,
Sean. I'm finally getting a chance to look down here.
the first song on the great album by the Glad Hands, La Di Da, Kill Him with Kindness.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I know I know that's not what you would want to do, but
No, it's just.
I don't think that would have worked on him
I
anyway.
think the point for anybody listening and interested in all this is that, hey, you know, we all make bad decisions and do things that can hurt people unnecessarily, and we don't realize it.
Yeah.
And
he realized it, Bruce. Come on.
he did then, but I wonder, you know, how he would feel now.
Anything, you never know what the arc of his life became.
There was a legitimate thing, a principle he was standing up for at that time. We shouldn't talk about this anymore, but I mean, because this is definitely.
Bruce, speaking of bad decisions, you remember you and I went to Anfield and I got one of the meat pies at the concession stand?
Oh God, not another food poisoning story.
Bruce and I went to see Everton versus Liverpool. Was it Everton? Yeah, Everton.
No, it was Everton. No, Liverpool. That would have been a big match. Who did we
see? We saw Everton versus who did we see?
I don't. God,
probably some team outside of Liverpool.
Well, it was a premier team, obviously. This is
it was great. It was a crazy time, but yeah, we got.
For those who don't know, Everton and Liverpool are the two teams. In Liverpool.
I thought we saw. I know we saw.
It wasn't Liverpool. No.
It was at Anfield, but
swallowed up by Reds.
I'm going to have to research.
My daughter's boyfriend is a serious Liverpool fan. Very serious. Premier team. No, yeah, Mark and I. We'll do this quick. We were at IPO in Liverpool in 2003, and we went down the day before Liverpool Everton match, and we went to the stadium there, which is the Fenway Park of Premier League. I don't know when was that built? In 1918, I think. Something like that, and we were trying to get tickets. I'll let you tell the story, Mark.
I'm trying to remember it clearly. We were trying to get tickets, and it was sold out. We went to it was a box office. They said it was sold out because it wasn't going to be on their Skynet, which is their
that's
ESPN.
right. I forgot about that.
And they said because it's not going to be televised, it's sold out. You can't get tickets. And well, first of all, we were standing there, and that side door opened up. Because we went to look in to see if we could look in the freaking field, and there was was he a maintenance guy or was he like one of the field guys?
I think he was a field guy
because his daughter ran the concession stands also, and that's how we got the free tickets for the beer and the meat pies and everything. So we were just told him we're a couple of U.S. guys that are just we don't know what we're doing here. We can't get tickets.
We just want to see a Premier League match.
Yeah. And first of all, he said, "Come on in," and he took us in to the field.
Literally, he let us walk onto the field to the edge of the pitch, like within inches. He said, "Just don't step onto the pitch." And we went right up to the edge, and we're looking around, and it was like, whoa! We realized the magnitude of the history. Of like for me as a Red Sox fan, and keep in mind in 2003 the Red Sox hadn't won a World Series yet,
which leads me to my story. But after this is done,
so I'm in the Fenway Park of Premier League stadiums, and I was highly moved and respectful of that. I'm like, wow, this is like walking up to the Green Monster. Which I did do, David, in 1976. That's another story that happened to me. But anyway, it was so cool.
I don't even remember how we got tickets.
People are awesome.
What's that?
People
How
are
did we get?
awesome sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
I don't remember how we got the actual tickets though. We got them because we got tickets. We
Yeah, I think.
no wait. Who's one of your early contacts that got you into the cavern? What's her name? What's the woman's name,
Gene
David?
Catherall.
Jean Catherall. I
Did
think
she
we
do
ran
that?
into her, and she said, "I can get you tickets."
Oh, really? Was that how?
Remember?
That
Because
sounds like her. Yeah.
I think she took
Wow.
us to that pub right next to Anfield, which was amazing in itself. Going to a pub right beside Anfield because
Yeah.
it was about. I mean, you couldn't see your fingers in front of your face from the cigarette smoke, and just all the beer. And then we had great seats up there on the second level. And I remember watching the whole first level. I mean, of the first row, the second level, the fans urinating down on top the people in the lower level because they were from the other, whatever the other team was. And I was just like, if this
I
was the
forgot
US,
about that.
they'd be clubbing these people and arresting them. But there, everybody was cheering them on, including the security guards. It was
Yeah,
incredible.
fine.
It's incredible. I still got a couple
Well,
pictures.
people aren't going to be interested in this. This is just a.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. Anyhow,
I
on
love
the
music. Hey,
let
who
me
has
quick-
questions? I want to
No,
like. Is there
let me
any
quickly
questions?
let me quickly tell my story here. That was the first year of IPO Liverpool. We had done it at the time in October.
That's right. Yeah.
We've done it in May since 2005, but this was during. We're gonna do that, John. This was during the World Series, and it was Game 7 of 2003. And we want to know, you and I, we had just come out of the IPO show. You know, we're 5 hours ahead. We're 5 hours ahead of the East Coast, so the game's still going on. We want to know the score. We had no way to find it out except to go to a payphone that had internet on it, and and we anyway. So I put I put a couple of 25p pieces in there, and we were able to get the internet, and it said Red Sox.
I totally forgot about that. That is classic. That is
Red Sox 4, Yankees 1. I think it was the 6th inning, and I thought, oh shit, we're gonna lose. We get back. Rena and I get back to the hotel. I try to watch the game, actually televised. I fell asleep. I was really beat. Wake up the next morning, and I'm saying,
you had just started dating Rena around then. You guys are like less than a year into your relationship.
I know we were almost 2 years together.
2 years. Okay.
Actually, we were 2 years together. So anyway, I'm trying to find the score, and I turn to the sports channel, and they've got this ticker going across, and they get it, and it goes across, and it says Red Sox 5, and I thought, oh shit, we lost. Yankees 6.
Yeah.
They actually went by the home, the road, then home game in that order. I remember seeing you later that day, and your face was ashen. It was terrible. I felt really badly for you. Actually.
Oh, I appreciate that.
The final year. Next year you guys made the best comeback in sports history.
It was so
best comeback in sports history.
It was amazing.
Absolutely. Nothing beat it, and nothing ever will, probably.
It really was incredible. It was. I feel so fortunate to have been alive to have experienced that one. It's silly. It's just a game. It's a sport, but it meant a lot to Bostonians and Red Sox fans.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the jellyfish box since John Kirby brought it up. How did that happen, and what did you have to go through to make it happen? A lot, if I recall.
Yeah, that project took about 2.5 years, if I'm not mistaken, to come together. But again, the huge part of the kudos goes to someone else, and that someone else is a guy named Kevin Flaherty, who is a guy at the EMI Capital Special Projects. He was an A&R guy there, and he tried to float the viability of the box set inside the confines of Capital to do that. And he made his pleading case, and ultimately it got shot down. They're saying, who gives a shit, about this band. And so he approached me very early on, saying, "Hey, you know, I wanted to see if you're interested. You're the guy. NotLame is the place for this." And of course, I'm like, "You got to be kidding! Let's do this." And we spent 2 years plus putting together track listings, getting liner notes, people to write liner notes, licensing pictures, licensing the tracks inside of Capitol, licensing the tracks outside of the Capitol family, the EMI family, I should say, and just piecing it together, getting the buy-in, most importantly, from the 4 guys in the band, and you know, getting their blessing and participation and support, which wasn't as difficult as a lot of people would probably would have guessed. Everybody was great, and you know, Andy Sturmer is this enigma in the power pop world, in the jellyfish world, but he couldn't have been more magnanimous. And appreciative of that. There was no drama there whatsoever. And it was just sort of marching forward in this. But as we got closer and closer to having it all be done, I remember Kevin called me up, and I forget, it was like, okay, here we are at this sort of milestone, many milestones with a project like that. It was definitely not, it was unlike anything else that I had ever done, in a whole nother level. And because it was very corporate in terms of how it had to do in terms of the licensing. He's like, okay, well, now you need to go fill out a credit app. And you have to, this is the thing, got bad news. To keep in mind, we're 2 years into this plus. And the bad news is you have to manufacture this inside the family of EMI. I have to use their manufacturer, not mine.
Okay.
Which means I don't have terms. I'm not going to have credit extended to me, and I have to pay upfront for the first pressing of the box sets, and that I'm trying to remember the exact amount, but yeah, it was $130,000.
Oh my God!
Yeah, so $130,000 I had to come up with cash before it would go into production and be able to be released. And keep in mind, I'm also getting sued at this time as well. You know,
Wow.
And God, yeah, and I'm sued personally. I was an S corp then. There you go. Look at that. That little bugger, that thing was worth $300-400 at some point, at a few points in the history of things.
Yeah.
Still goes for a couple $100. I have one copy of that.
Wow.
That is it. Anyway, so I'm like, what am I going to do here? So back against the wall. So what I did, because NotLame had a list and many thousands of people, and there was lots of interest, and I was building awareness of the project and keying people in, and I realized the only way I can do this is go to the fans themselves and say, hey, here's what's going on. This is a whole transparency thing. To do this, I need to ask you to buy this in advance, which is
the first GoFundMe.
Yeah, it wasn't a thing in 2002
no.
at all. It was absolutely not a thing. And it just was, these were the only options that I had. And so I went to them and had a whole campaign that I put together and said, okay, here we go. I need you to do this, pay $60 in advance plus postage. And I promise, really, I promise I will ship this by, you know, such and such date, which I think was about 3 months down the line. at that point. And God, if I marinate on this and hit pause, I'll get moved to tears, because it was just such a powerful realization of the emails that came in by the many hundreds of saying, right on, brother, I'm with you, whatever it takes. And this was the kind of thing that I wish I could have talked to about this guy that was suing me at the time.
Yeah.
Two was the people that were part of this, but I was gonna, maybe it was more than that. I was gonna be short, so I needed to come up with, but I still was gonna be short, and so I needed $90,000. Still, wow. It was maybe I needed $230,000. It's funny how I'm forgetting this. I think it was 230. These numbers. It was actually probably closer to a couple $100,000, but I was $90,000 short. I'm remembering now. It's been a long time. Come on, I'm 61 years old. He's withering and shrinking in front of you.
It's money. It's money under the bridge now. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I realized that it's like, I need to get a loan. So I went to Ruth, my amazing wife and partner for 40 years, and said, here's the thing. I got this big project, which she knew about. And it is a sure thing. I know people are going to buy this, but what I need to do is I need to go ask the bank for a loan for $90,000. I still have this paperwork somewhere. I think it was $93,000 in the end, but I need to mortgage our house and put it up as leverage.
Wow.
With that. And she didn't flinch. And we had two little kids, a toddler and a baby in the house at that time. And this is 2002. And got the loan. It was and ended up just having to be a bridge loan, and was able to pay it back in under a month. As I was able to get into production, or maybe something like that. But anyway, it was that was, I mortgaged my house, all for the love of rock and roll. But it's a true story.
It's a heck of a story.
Having an understanding wife, and one that really
you understand that, David.
Yeah,
you definitely do. I wish I knew. I wish I was in Los Angeles. There's sometimes there's very few things that I would make me want to live in Los Angeles ever again. I left in '93, but being closer to you and John would be at the very top of the list, and getting to know Rena. Please tell her. She just seems like the most amazing person, like my own wife.
She is.
And I would love to have been able to say, God, I know Rena. And what a woman.
That's really sweet.
But
one day we'll come out to Hilton Head.
Yeah. Oh, please do.
There you go.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, we'll talk off. There's options there with seeing us.
Well, Bruce, we've covered a lot, but you did mention earlier.
And I'm drinking. I've covered a lot of tequila.
I know.
Here.
Yeah, I see.
I see discouraged. My other bottle wouldn't open, but I'm drinking the classic Casamigos. It's not the Reposado is special.
We could have you on 5 times.
I don't really drink much. I really don't. I just figured, hey, this is
nice. Yeah. But you did mention Lufo earlier in passing, and you said, I don't know if we'll have time to get to it, but I'd love to get to it and talk a little bit about it. Let's look at this. Lost, unreleased, forgotten, and overlooked. Lufo. Digging out really great music.
Oh, that's amazing. Holy crap. I can't believe I hadn't heard this artist before.
Wow.
So, this is what I was doing behind the logo. I was going, oh my God, I can't believe that I haven't heard this artist before. So as some people might know, I basically did retire from music endeavors back in June. But it's just like The Godfather 3, every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in. I'm Al Pacino in there. So I'm always going to be dabbling in something with music, which is unsurprising to anybody who would know me. But the idea behind lost, unreleased, forgotten, and overlooked connects to some of the activity with Pop Geek Heaven with the music discovery experience, which is basically it's going to be a free, nothing to sell, a simple, compact, short newsletter that goes out 2 or 3 times a week. This is going to be later in 2004 for anybody. 2024. Jeez. And 2024. That is just going to be kind of a tip sheet that's going to focus on all music genres, highlighting this amazing music of lost, overlooked, unreleased, forgotten music by artists. That's always been my burning passion, not just in power pop, but being the pantheist that I am. I worship at the altar of all music genres, and highlighting the hard work and efforts of musicians, that many of whom are dead and older, and that it just, I want this music to have some way to sort of extend and live and experience forward into the years of open-minded music fans, and just have a visceral kind of reaction where they see this email come in. It's quick. It will be literally, the scroll on it will be one screen. That's it. It's going to be a few sentences, and just launch out and hearing music that may or may not hit the target with your music sensibilities or not. But I pulled a few things. Roll with me. This is going to be fun. That are somewhat representative in a somewhat limited way of what the LUFO concept's about. Again, this will be, you'll hear about it. I'm not going to do it until probably the end of the winter, early spring. But it will be free and nothing to sell. But here we go. Let's have some fun, guys.
Holy cow.
All right.
Let's see. So this is the idea behind it, and watch what can happen just as you do it. So earlier, like just before I went on this, so like, oh, do you guys know this album?
Can't see it. I've seen it.
I don't know it. No.
Okay, well, this was a New York City band. They released a record on Mercury, and it came out in early '77, and they were part of the CBGB scene. And it's just an amazing, really unknown, and it's very power pop, you guys. There's a lot of great.
I'm really shocked I never bought it. I must have. The name must have turned me off or something.
Yeah. It was just probably. But I mean, because this was in the punk kind of things. Well, speaking of punk, this is a band called the Addicts.
Yeah.
Who were a legendary punk band in England. But this album has never been on CD, and it's one of the great unknown, most consistent punk records of all time, in my opinion. There's a band called the Nits.
Oh yeah,
they are one of my. I tout these guys for decades here. They're a Dutch band. I literally have everything by them, dozens of records.
Wait, hold on, Bruce. You have
they're unclassifiable.
Wait a minute.
Unclassifiable.
You have the first album, which is total power pop. That one came out before they were a major label act. It came out in '77, I think.
Yeah, '77.
It's going on Discogs. It's going on Discogs for over $200. It is It is a big grail album for me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
I do have a $200 Nits record. I have the box set.
Oh wow!
Oh, nice.
That is extremely rare.
Bruce, do you see who just checked in with the comment that he has the Demons?
Yeah, of course Jordan has that. I would expect him to have that. He's a man of the highest level of good taste.
The first Nits
Carl
album
has it too.
Bruce, the second Nits album, which people think is the first one, Tent. That one has some really good. That one has some really catchy pop stuff, but it's much more new wave.
Yes, very
but
much
on the
so.
CD, Bruce, the bonus tracks, the 3 bonus tracks are total power pop.
Yeah, totally.
Or like what the first album's like. Yeah. Somebody needs to put that.
You recognize this one?
CD, Huh?
So do you recognize this? This is
I
a
recognize it, but I don't have it.
This is a box set by the Blessing of Adam Blessing. The Damnation of Adam Blessing.
The Damnation of Adam Blessing.
Yeah, it's a hard rock, early 70s hard rock record. A band, I should say, with 3 CDs. It's just amazing. Pusat Dark Band.
I remember that
band there. But for example, like what was happening here? So like the idea of LUFO is to highlight some of these things. And I found this CD today. And you'll see here. Can you see this here?
Yep. The Great Lost.
The Retros. This is Retros. Jeff Glendale.
Oh, that Retros, yes.
Yeah. And so this stuff never really formally came out.
No.
But he made some really wonderful music. He passed away almost 20 years ago, I think now.
Wow.
But then at the same time, I found another band another band called the Retros.
Oh, yeah.
That were, where are they from? Indiana or something like that. But it's just kind of cool. And like here, I found some like unreleased Tories.
Oh, wow. Don't get me started on the Tories, Bruce. That was one band. I always tell people if there was one band in the LA scene that should have made it huge, it was the Tories. They had everything. They had energy, looks, songs. I mean, they were amazing. Some people know who they are without knowing it because they had the theme song to that show, Jesse, which people heard that almost as much as they heard the Friends theme for a couple of years. Yeah. But the only thing they didn't have was timing. They came in at the time when Brit rock was anathema. It was already passed, and because of their name, labels kept passing on them because they thought,
I wouldn't bet money on them. Stories of Tories.
No, the Tories were an amazing band.
Talk about Ian Lloyd, Jordan, man. I mean, I love those Ian Lloyd. 3WC is my favorite Ian Lloyd record. God, I love that record. And the second and third solo records from Ian Lloyd are just great power pop. Mm-hmm. Here, David, here's one that you'll know. This is the back.
Oh yeah, the Flame.
Oh, the Flame. Yeah.
That's enough. That's just great.
Oh, you see a very strong Beach Boys.
Here, we'll go with something different. I don't know if there's anybody from Finland here. I got a couple Finland like this.
No, I don't know that at all.
This is 20th century. This is a Finnish classical composer, Radavara. But it was and I've got this passion of classical music from living composers. Which is another thing, but I'm a hard rock guy, so this is
look at that.
Dirty Tricks.
Oh yeah,
Dirty Tricks, yeah.
That released 2 records in the US, but 3 if you include the UK. But today I pulled this off the shelves and I go around and I look online and I found out that this band got back together, the core of them, in 2009 and recorded another record that was available only digitally. And I haven't had a chance. I just found this out a couple hours ago. But the idea of LUFO, Lost, Unreleased, Forgotten, Overlooked Albums, is to have this sort of discovery inside of a newsletter. Yeah. And you don't know where these threads will lead and the rabbit holes it will take you. But it's the idea of exploration and discovery and journeying into something new and unexpected. That you wouldn't hear, ideally from a trusted source. But the idea is not just to have me be the arbiter of this stuff, but eventually create a community where we can leverage everybody's knowledge and life experience to be able to share this stuff with each other on a much larger stage with many thousands of people that are interested in many different music lifestyles, and just be this amazing experience.
A great idea.
That adds a vibrancy and aliveness, because most of the people that this would appeal to are probably going to be over the age of 50. But I believe firmly that this idea of having open-minded new discovery in anything in life, for us, we're talking about music here, keeps us young, keeps us relevant to ourselves, and the world at large that we live in, and gives us a reason to say, hey, God, there's so much good life ahead of us right now. Let's do this together. And that's sort of the vision of what this free newsletter is going to be.
No, that does sound like a wonderful idea, a wonderful endeavor.
Fantastic. Yeah. No, it's that's a
so
great
here,
idea, man.
This is a band. Hey, Jordan's here. Jordan turned me on to this band and a tape that he gave me in
Terry Carolyn.
Just Boys, yeah. Yeah, hey Jordan, I remember you sending me a tape with the song from these guys on it back in the day.
You know,
Jordan by the way, Boys, Jordan not only had the best fanzine ever.
Just Boys did a reunion show.
Best freaking tapes.
Yeah,
he made the best tapes.
He did
of stuff ever.
Just Boys did a reunion show at IPO Austin.
Did they really?
Yeah, and Terry Carolyn has put out a bunch of new music over the past 10 years.
Yeah, he sure has. Terry's an awesome dude. Hey, here's an LA band. The Furies.
Can't see it. Oh yeah.
The Furies. Oh, I'm sorry. The Furies.
They played IPO as well.
Singles.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta figure this out.
Oh wow.
I believe the Furies were the first band.
These 3 singles have 6 of the greatest songs from the late 70s era for me. I'm
pretty sure, Bruce. I'm pretty sure the Furies were the first band to ever play Madame Wong's.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they played there all the time. There's a great documentary on that era. Have you seen that yet, David?
I have not.
There's a really good. Yeah, it came out in 3 years ago that covers the whole rivalry between Madame Wong's and what's the other club that was right next door, right across the way from them down in East LA in Koreatown. I'm
not sure why I don't.
It's really good. I'm just drawing a blank on what that club was. But anyway, the Furies played Wong's, the old Wong's, for those in the know, because Wong's moved to West LA.
Nothing wrong with that. No.
There goes Mark. That's what we know. Yeah, you did stand up too before, didn't you?
You saw my clip from Helium Comedy Club. That was Madame Wong related. Yeah. You have to check it out on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's LUFO. So people will. Well,
I think that's a great idea. It's
but I mean, I focus more on the thing. But like, I got a big fetish for bands like this. I'm a big AOR guy.
Sure.
Yeah, I've always collected stuff. Like, I'm a big fan. I used to collect albums that if Jeff Porcaro and Steve Lukather played on them, or anybody in Toto, I bought them. I have hundreds of albums with those guys appearing on them, literally, just because they made everything better. And the same with Russ Kunkel and Danny Korchmar and Waddy Wachtel.
Well, a lot of those guys run Endangered Species, Klaatu. Yeah, Jeff Porcaro was the drummer for that album from Klaatu, Endangered Species.
He did everything. Jeff was he died in '93. It's such a loss. I mean, he was just the most amazing drummer. So tasty and so talented. He made everything better, as did a lot of those guys. Steve Lukather. Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I don't really have a desire to meet too many people in this industry, because you don't want to meet your heroes.
Right.
There's 2 people I really would love to spend time with and meet someday. Steve Lukather is number 1. By far. I just feel like we'd be brothers in arms, because he's just, anybody should just check out interviews with this guy. He's the best. And he has so many great stories, and he's so humble, and he's so ridiculously talented. And the other guy, believe it or not, number 2 position would be Jack Douglas, the producer.
Oh yeah.
He's just filled with amazing stories. Go on YouTube. I mean, Google, you guys, and like find interviews with Jack Douglas. It's awesome.
Yeah,
he's just such a great.
I'd like to meet Chip Douglas, both the producer and the My Three Sons guy. Stanley Livingston. What a great name!
Is this the segue into the competition here? Do we have time?
I was going to say we should play the game before everybody gets sick of us.
What? Who? When? Well,
I think we already are, you guys.
Yeah.
No, we still got
everybody's
viewers.
hanging in.
Yeah.
Oh, are they really? You
I
guys
wish I
hanging
met
in?
Mike Douglas. Yeah, we got everybody
Yeah.
hanging in here. This is great.
Oh
But,
man! Oh, Jordan, you remember this? I bet you Jordan and John remember this. Remember when the babies were on Mike Douglas?
I don't.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that was such a thing. When their first record came out, they were on the Mike Douglas show.
Mike was always very cool.
He had a lot of great acts.
It was like, yeah, he did. And
he really did.
it was so. Oh man, they just blew me away. I became a Babies fan immediately. Yep. Yeah.
Rich Horton says, still here, but please no wagering.
Rich, that's for you.
There you Douglas, go. Yes.
Yeah. And I really should really quickly inject that Rich, along with some other people, a guy named Jeff LaQuatra, who's a professor of classical guitar at Colorado State University, Hans Rottenberry, and myself have been working for the last couple of years on an amazing project with a reissue of Godspeed the Shazam, which is going to be a 2 LP set.
Nice.
And hopefully a 3 CD set. Of all kinds of unreleased and outtakes. There's an album, a full album of outtakes that is unbelievable that we've remastered and unearthed, and it's just a part of that part of this. And Rich has been at the forefront of making this happen. So
thank you, Rich.
Yeah,
amazing. All right.
Yeah, what do you think of that? Yeah, I wish you could have Rich on right now. You could talk about this. Maybe 2 LP with an additional. Wow, that's news. I got to catch up with Hans. I've been so insanely busy with this, but Hans for America. John and Jordan, man, now there's a stand-up team. There's a stand-up team I want to see sometime.
That's for sure.
Right, David? Yeah.
The first Poptopia, they were cracking me up. Especially one day in 7-Eleven.
That first Poptopia, man, Jordan was on fire. He was legendary, man. He was legendary for those 4 days or whatever. Yes, you were, Jordan Oaks.
Hey, just as a side note, I did name my cat Shazam. Just so.
Did you really?
Yeah, I had a cat for 10 years, and my cat was Shazam, and of course, my mom couldn't pronounce it. She thought it was Suzanne, but that's another story.
Wow.
But yeah, Shazam was my cat. Yeah, I love it. Power comedy, it's a thing.
Jordan, do you remember when you had me on the floor of 7-Eleven with the Elliot Kendall promotional brownies? It's out of context. No one's going to get that, but I was pretty oxygen deprived, and Jordan and John are going on. They're going on with this routine quoting Elliot Kendall, who was, a big promotional savant almost. And they had me on the floor. I mean, I'm not a laugher, but that day, when Jordan mentioned the promotion, the brownies were the promotional nuts that Elliot Kendall said was the shit, I was on the ground.
Yeah. Hey, what we should? Are we going to play this?
We are going to play this. I mean,
humiliated.
Okay, you're not going to get humiliated. It's going to be a lot of fun.
This is explain to what's going on here, because man, I'm dreading it. But I mean, we're going on so long. But I mean,
this has been fantastic. This has been great. This is just a wonderful holiday.
And of course, we're not even done yet.
Yeah, we're not even done yet.
We're Pop Geek Heaven.
You have to come back for episode number 3 so we can get into Pop Geek Heaven and continue all this.
We never got a chance to talk about different NotLame bands and favorites and overlooked gems and all that in the NotLame catalog.
We do this on purpose just so you come back for a third time at least, Bruce. We
honor me.
This is the thing. It's
Always.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, my friends, we're going to play this game. It's a bro down. It's a bash up. We call it What, Who, When, because I'm going to play a very short clip, about 8 seconds. And Bruce and David will both write down what's the name of the song, who did it, and in this case, This is all about wonder because the holiday season is full of wonder. So these songs are all about one-hit wonders generally, or I wonder why that wasn't a hit. So it can go all across the spectrum. It doesn't have to have cracked the Hot 100, but it is something you would have been familiar with, and you wonder why it didn't. So you'll hear these clips. You're going to have a few seconds to write down what's the track, who did it, and what year was it best known for. It's not exactly what year was it in the any kind
not
of
necessarily
ranking.
chart, right?
Not necessarily charted, but you know,
there's
I'm
a
going
bit
to
of
ask you.
subjective interpretation by you, Mark.
What's that? Yeah,
There's a bit of subjective interpretation.
A little bit of subjective, so you're just going to have to go. You're going to have to go with me.
Okay.
Now we do have three lifelines. You each have 3 lifelines you can use, and it's a very interesting lifeline. So let's say you listen to a track, you have no clue who it is, when it was, or anything. Now, as David has done before, you might want to just guess. I don't know the name, I don't know the track, but it sounds like 1977. You can still get a point for getting the year correct if you don't know something. Yes. Good. So write down some guesses. Now, if you're completely clueless and you want to throw up a lifeline, what we're going to do, and I'm going to bring up this screen right here. This is our highly technical points screen, right? Over here is a bonus wheel. This is the lifeline. If you choose to use it and we spin the bonus wheel.
I can't see it well, Mark.
It's okay. If it lands on bonus, which are big pieces of the pie, I am going to pull a random card from this deck of rock and roll trivia. And trust me, they are easy questions, and you can have up to 4
more opportunities for humiliation. Great.
4 questions, 4 points, but there are slices on that wheel that do say -1, -2, -3, -4. If you land on those little slices, you just automatically lose the points with no questions. And there is one tiny slice that's the super bonus. You can double the points and get 8 points. And
busy.
So it's all kinds of fun things.
David,
so that's
did you know about this? I mean, this is wow. You worked hard.
Great.
I'm not crazy about the minus points thing, but okay.
Yeah,
I'm going
actually
to
like that. That's a bet for me. Going against this savant here, man. So I like that part.
So you do have those three lifelines, and we'll keep them tallied next to your name, how many lifelines you use over the course of the competition. So remember, you have 3 to use to possibly get bonus or possibly lose points. You don't know. But that's how you do it. I want to play just a little clip from Rocky Burnett because I want to test the audio, so you make sure you can hear the audio nice and clear. So
make sure most importantly that people listening can hear that.
So here's a test audio clip right now.
Yeah, I can hear it.
All right, I'm tired.
Sure everyone can hear it.
So what's going to happen here? I've actually prepared 30 clips. We may play 2 10-clip segments here as far as the game is concerned. They're in completely. I used the randomizer, completely random order. 1972 to 1982. That's the 11-year period that these tracks could be from. So we're going to play clip number 1 right now, and you're going to tell me what's the song, who's the artist, and what year is it associated with mostly. And this is for 3 points, with each of the questions being 3 points. I mean, 1 point apiece. Are you ready? Here is clip number 1. I think you got this one. We're going to give you a couple seconds. And because Mr. Brodeen is the guest, we will, whenever you're both ready, we'll let Bruce put up his answer first.
I should be confident about this year.
The year sometimes is the tough one.
Yeah. I should be much more confident about this, especially because it's been reissued a few times. But I will preface this in saying It's funny. This isn't the big album for me that it was for so many people. I mean, I liked it, but it just wasn't. It didn't blow me away like it does. But and it's one of those ones with the reissue. I'd like to go back.
Damn, I'm not sure what you're talking about. No.
All right, we've got Marshall Crenshaw, Someday, Someway, 1980. Bruce, you're going to get 2 points.
Yeah,
for that.
It was 81, right?
And David, what's your answer? You got the same
82.
thing, but with the correct year of 1982. Yeah. So with clip number 1, David jumps out to
I should have put 81, and I still would have been wrong. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I
thought I was in high school then.
I think it was a single in 1981, so it could have.
Yeah. See, I thought I graduated in 81. I could have sworn I was in high school when that came out.
Well, it may have come out then, but I guess 82.
Yeah, but I still would have been wrong because I put 80.
What's it known for? All right, David representing New York, Bruce representing Boston. David up 3-2 after clip number 1. Here is clip number 2 on What, Who, When.
I'm not sure, but
this is a guess. I needed more with that. I don't know that.
Yeah, a little tougher on clip number 2.
Yeah, it is.
I may be wrong about the song, but I think
72 to 82. It's 11-year period.
Okay.
I'm going to let David go first. David's going to show his answer whenever we're both ready. David says it is Poetry Man, Phoebe Snow, 1975 for 3 complete points.
So
Bruce.
Freaking good. I'm not even close. See, there is the separation already.
What do you got, Bruce? What do you got?
You got to understand, I would have turned this off. I was listening to Iggy Pop in 75 as a precocious 12, 13-year-old. You put Phoebe Snow on. I still was turning the dial, but I still like this guy. God rest his soul.
You got Dan Fogelberg, #74. I'm sorry, I can't give you any points for that.
No, you can't.
No, you can't. You can't get points. That's okay.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You can only go for a lifeline if you don't guess.
No. Well, no. You can listen to the track, and if you decide to say I'm going to use one of my lifelines, then David, if you're not using a lifeline, you can still guess. Bruce doesn't get to guess that he goes to the spinning of the wheel. But you can still guess.
I'm not even sure I ever heard that song, quite honestly. Seriously.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how we learn.
I never heard it back at the time.
Resolute I was with just freaking rocking in 1975.
Now, WABC never played Poetry Man. It was a huge hit in the country on Billboard, but not in New York.
It wasn't in Boston, I don't think.
I only heard it later.
1975.
Yeah.
I wasn't even sure I had it.
Poetry Man.
But I did.
I love it. All right, track number 3, clip number 3. What, Who, When. Here we go.
Thinking on this.
Jeez.
Remember, you have lifelines. Not to use them too early in the competition, but you do have 3 lifelines.
Oh no! Wait, hold on. I got it.
Bruce will be up first with his reveal whenever you're both ready. We got to wait for you both to be ready.
I'm not going to type I'm not going to write the whole thing out.
No, I'll get the gist if you get the first couple of words and go. You can.
There you go. You guys ready?
All right, Bruce. What do we got? Chuck.
Maybe you're right.
I'm sorry, I can't give you any points for that great guess, though. What do you got, David? The lights went out in Georgia. Vicki Lawrence, but
no
it's 1976.
That was the beginning of that song.
It's not 76.
Oh no, sorry, 73. I'm sorry, you're right.
Was 73. Yeah,
73.
I would have. If I knew that song, I would have got the year. I should have taken a lifeline. I just need a little more time with that one. I know that.
One thing we have, Bruce, just to remind you, and I almost said something foolish because I almost wrote Helen Reddy. She was not a one-hit wonder, but Vicki Lawrence was. We have to remember these are one-hit wonders. Or now, if it's a song that I wonder why it wasn't a hit, that could be anybody.
Yeah.
That's not a one-hit wonder necessarily.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, next track. Here we go.
I want to use a lifeline on that one.
You can both use lifelines.
Can I refuse to use a lifeline? I guess
you could just get no points, just write nothing.
Well, if I guess a year, I can't use a lifeline, correct?
Right.
All right, then you know what? I'll take a chance. I'll use a lifeline.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. David's going to use a lifeline. This is where we go to the rock question. We're going to have 4 questions on these cards. You can have up to 4 points.
Oh, this is how you do it. Oh, I should have done this.
No, but
this one.
Only if we hold on. We got to spin. Only if you get the bonus. Ready?
I better not get a sliver here.
You could lose points. You could lose points.
I know. That's what I'm worried about.
-3. It's -3.
Nope.
Bonus.
I almost had -4.
You were right next to the Super 8 bonus, too. All right, David. 1 point for each question. Here we go. First question. In 1991, what band reissued their self-titled 5th album, including the tracks Enter Sandman, The Unforgiven, and Nothing Else Matters?
See, that's... Who the fuck did that?
Enter
I have no
Sandman.
idea. This is not...
That would have been Metallica.
You know,
you missed that for...
I don't know. I don't know 80s hair bands. So
question number 2, a scene in the 1992
That was not
movie.
a hair band.
It wasn't a hair band. It was yeah.
Well, whatever.
The scene in the 1992 movie Wayne's World led what song to climb to number 2 in the Billboard Hot 100, 7 places higher than it had peaked following its original release in 1976.
Wow.
I'm pretty. I think
really, Dave?
I think I've seen Wayne's World.
This is my only chance to humiliate David.
Is it Bohemian Rhapsody?
We will give you 1 point. Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah. Good call.
Wow, you were hesitating on that though.
I know because I've seen Wayne's World once.
Yes, actually, I only had 2. So I know exactly.
I hate to say this, but I'm not a huge Mike Myers fan. I'm really not. I'm much more of a fan of his brother than him.
Yeah, we had Paul on the show. Yeah. All right, this one, I think you might have a shot at this one, David. Question number 3. What band formed in Los Angeles in 1978 with members Charlotte, Kathy, Belinda Carlisle, Gina Shaw, Kathy Valentine, Jane Weedland?
Can we ask a side question? How many of them would I like to have sex with?
Yeah.
I'll just say all 5. It's the Go-Go's.
There's another point for David. Last question.
This works. I need to bring something up here.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the news about Rodney Bingenheimer?
Yeah.
No. What was that? No.
Yeah.
Rodney was accused by Jane Weedland of sexual molestation when she was underage. And that led to a bunch of other underage girls at the time coming forward and saying, yes, Rodney molested me too. Can I say something? I mean, Rodney was a hero in many ways, but that news is hardly a revelation. Everybody knew of his predilection for young girls.
Yeah.
The fact that I'm sure he did a lot worse to a lot more. These are the only ones that came forward.
This was the Jeffrey Epstein malice.
Yeah, no direct rape allegation like Kim Fowley got. Well, Kim Fowley I'm sorry, he's dead, but he was a scumbag. He was an absolute scumbag. But Rodney was his buddy. Rodney was his buddy, but a much nicer person. But he did have a weakness for underage girls. One time,
Fowley, I had the weird, perverted, upside down pleasure of Kim Fowley harassing me to sign one of his acts for, I don't know, back in 2002 or so. It was pretty funny. What a character.
Wow.
No, he just was calling me all the time.
He was a character. He also monopolized Rodney's movie, which was another shame. But you know, he was a talker, and he was the biggest self-promoter of all time. And yeah, he did do some nice things for people. You know, everyone has more than one side, but overall, definite scum of the earth.
Wow.
Poor Rodney for having been associated with him. But you know, Rodney, he did molest underage girls, which is an unforgivable thing. So I don't know what's going to happen to him. But
if anything, who knows?
Anyway, all right.
Wait. Question number 4 for your final bonus question. What UCLA film school dropped out?
Man, jeez, these lifelines are killers.
What UCLA film school dropout joined Ray Manzarek, Robbie Krieger, and John Densmore in Los Angeles at 65 before releasing their band's self-titled debut album a year later? What was his name?
And then became a baseball player.
Yes.
Jim Morrison.
Big bonus for.
No, but Bruce can use one too, right?
Yeah, well, Bruce can use a lifeline, or he could give me a guess as to what that track was.
I guess. I mean, God, no. I'm going to wait for my lifeline.
All right. Well, Bruce is taking.
How many do we get? How many lifelines?
3 total.
3 total.
And David, you have used 1 lifeline.
Okay.
But that last track was.
There's no drama in this one.
No, not yet.
Yeah, Mark, you got to help me out here.
We got a ways to go. You never know. You could pick up some bonus there. That last track was King Tut by Steve Martin and the Toot Uncommons, 1978.
Wow. Okay.
Here we go.
God, did I hate that song?
Next track up. Listen closely.
Oh, is that?
I don't know. Don't say it out loud.
You know what it is.
Bruce is writing.
So. Well,
the year. I hate the year.
I'm not sure of the year myself, but I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, I know. I gotta guess.
I'm sure John Borak knows. If he's still with us, I don't know.
Oh wait, was John ill? Is he not with us anymore?
We bored him to sleep.
It's his birthday tomorrow.
Yeah, he's probably getting some good sleep. Good job. Happy birthday, early birthday, John Borak. Yeah.
Wait. Okay.
Oh, there's John.
All right, cool.
Yeah, John's with us. All right, David, put your list up first. What do you got? Precious to me, Phil Seymour, 81. That's 3 points for Mr. Bash. What do you got, Bruce? Did you get some points on the board?
Yeah, I got 2.
Precious to me, Phil Seymour, but you missed the year. But
yeah,
that's all right. You hung tough. You only lost by 1. That's okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. Next clip up.
Oh.
Mr. Brodeen will be the first to.
I'm not getting this one.
Oh, look at that, Bruce. David's got nothing. David's got nothing, but Bruce is hemorrhaging a brain cell over what was the title of that song?
How many questions are we going to do?
We got 2 10 song clips. That's it.
20 questions.
Yeah.
And 3 lifelines. Okay.
3 lifelines.
Okay.
Yeah. David has abstained. He's taking no points. We've got, you said Bram Tchaikovsky, Borderline 81. No, that was Dancing the Night Away by the Motors.
Oh, by the Motors.
77, yeah.
No way was I getting that one.
That, shoot. Yeah, he had a song that began similar to that. I mean, and I love that first Motors record.
Great record.
Second Motors record is really the one.
Record. No, the first one's the rocker,
really?
Man.
You don't think the one with Airport or Forget About You?
Yeah, no, that was more poppy for you. But I mean, the Motors were still kind of a pub band, rocking band in that
pub
first
rock,
album.
Yeah.
But
the Motors beget Bram Tchaikovsky. So
yeah.
That's why you're there.
Yeah, it's interesting. It was a Bram Tchaikovsky song that began with that vibe there, because Bram didn't play on that. Bram didn't play on that album.
That was that song was Robber, I think. Robber, right?
Yeah.
She's a robber. Da, da, da. Yep.
You got it. That was the one I was thinking of.
Yep. Well, see, pulled a little twist. I thought you were going to gain some ground there on Mr.
Yeah,
Bash because
I should have. That was
should've.
my bad entirely.
All right, here we go. Next clip up. Let's listen.
Oh.
Yeah, he knows.
It's not spelled particularly well because I'm writing with this.
That's all right. We'll get the gist. I'm not going for spelling perfectly. You let us know when you're both ready. David's
I'm not sure
thinking.
the year on this one, but
Yeah, it's the same. I got a little uncertainty on the year on this one.
I'm pretty
too.
sure I have the song though.
All right, Mr. Brodeen,
yeah.
what do you got?
Well, you shouldn't be pretty sure. You should be like wholly all in sure.
Well,
this is iconic.
Rick Derringer,
Okay.
Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo, but it's 1974.
Oh, I was gonna say that.
2 points for Mr.
But I
Brodeen
put
out
the
of
same thing
3.
Bruce did.
Oh, you too, huh?
Matt,
Yeah.
we got
Interesting. 70.
no blood on either side. No blood on either
You
side.
sure on that one, Mark? That was 74.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
It was 74. Well, what was 74 is what? What are we?
74 is the year it's most
It
known
charted?
for. It didn't crack the top 100, but it is most known for
I think
1970.
that album came.
That album got in 73,
That album
didn't
came
it?
out in 73.
I do
Yeah,
too.
But
Are
I
you
think
sure
I'm
about
with
this?
you, Dave.
just
Yeah.
going. Don't question Wikipedia.
I mean, we are in agreement, David. But yes,
But
I think the album came out in 73.
there was still
Pretty
no
sure.
blood. All right, here we go. Two more tracks in the first half of the ball game. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh geez, what are you doing there?
David.
I'm 1,000,000% sure I have this one.
Bruce is saving all his lifelines for the second half to just get.
Jeez, I guess so. I mean, I'm.
David, what do you got? Show him. I got you. Split ends. 1980. Absolutely correct for 1, 2, 3 points. Bruce,
Here
were
we
you
go
right
again.
there?
Only 2 for me.
Yep. 19. Oh,
I was
81,
going for
still
high
close.
school.
All right.
Yeah.
It made my top 40 songs of 1980. So
Loved
that's
it.
how I remember.
Oh, there you go.
Remember the
Of
tapes I
course.
made. So
All right, here we go. Next clip. Listen up.
oh, come on. All right, hold on. I got to write it down because I think I put the artist first this time.
Yeah, again, the year.
Yeah, the
no,
year's always the tough.
I know,
This should
I
be
know,
the this
I know.
should be the right year. I mean,
Yeah,
Mark
oh,
may
man.
disagree, but
All right.
I got-
Bruce is
yeah.
still thinking.
No, I'm not thinking. I already
All
wrote
right.
it down.
What do you got,
I mean,
David?
am I first this time?
I'm just going to make you first. Go ahead. Nick Lowe, Cruel to Be Kind, 1979. All 3 points for Mr. David
Yeah,
Bash.
and-
3 points for Bruce Brodeen. He has cracked double digits.
Yeah, geez.
It's 23-11.
You need one of those
And-
lifelines to grab 4, man.
Yeah, you would
Well-
think, right? Do you know what that sound means?
Means we're out of
Oh.
time.
No. Do you know what that sound means?
No.
No, I
This
I was like, what is that song? I don't know what the hell that is.
This is the special, completely unknown bonus question. If either one of you can name what the song is, who is
Okay.
the artist, and what year for this really deep track, you get 20 points.
Oh,
You can
come
blow
on.
this
What does
out
wait.
of the water. But I
wait,
don't
wait. This is different
Yep.
stuff you do. Wait, explain this again.
This is a completely almost unknown bonus track. You might not, you might get it. There's outside track, but if you get it, and this is
Okay.
why it's so difficult of what's the track, who's it by,
What, is
and
this
what year.
unreleased?
Well, no, it's probably very, I'm going to say regionally. Yeah, it was a regional
Okay.
thing. So,
All right.
so
Okay.
it'd be tough. So 20 points. I mean, David can blow you out of the water.
How much is this worth?
This is worth 20. So for
What?
20, if you got 20, you would take the lead over David.
But you have to get all. You have to get all three right, though.
You have to get all 3 right. You got to go 3 for 3 to get the 20 points. So if David gets it, he blows you out of the water. All right. Listen.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm out of here if he gets this one.
I know.
This is
But this is special bonus. Listen closely. Here we go.
You gotta be kidding. Well, that's skinny tie all the way. Oh shit! I know this. I heard this. Oh my god!
No
I heard
idea.
this. Wait a second.
I was going to say, if anybody's going to get it, it was probably going to be David.
No idea.
No.
Maybe John Borak knows.
I got it. Are you gonna take a lifeline?
Can we take lifelines here?
No, you can't take lifeline in the
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
No lifelines in the bonus question.
Shoot. I think I got it.
No way. No freaking way.
If he's got this,
I did this.
I'm not fully sure. I have this.
David, are you taking a pass, David?
Yeah.
All right, David takes a pass. 0 points for the David Bash on this deep track.
I had 0 on something else.
Oh, shit, the year. Gotta guess this one.
No way.
God, man, the year is so freaking
20
hard.
points. Come on.
You never. Well, it's.
Wait. Do I get 20 points if I get 2? I mean, do I have to get all 3?
No, you have to get all 3 right. It's got to be. It's got to be. What's the song?
David, I wouldn't worry too much. I'm not sure about this one.
What you got, Bruce? Only for 20 points.
I know I got the band, and I'm going off because they had a couple really cool songs.
I'd have to run to the bathroom if you get even close to this.
Okay.
What do you got? I can't see it. Death of 20 points for Bruce Brodeen. How did you know that?
You're kidding?
How did you know?
Seriously? I got the year right too.
You got the year 1980. Death of a Businessman.
Wow.
A few. Oh my gosh. That was a Reading, Pennsylvania.
Are you frowning, David?
Power.
Are you
hold
frowning?
On. I gotta.
Am I pouting?
Are you frowning?
Frowning? No, why?
Frowning. You look like you were like this.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. All of a sudden, the tide has changed. Bruce Brodeen of NotLame Recordings gets Death of a Businessman by the Few 19.
That's crazy. That is crazy rules.
When's the last time you ever heard that? Bruce, seriously, when's the last time you ever heard that song?
The last time I heard that song was about 24 hours ago when I was talking with you for an hour yesterday, Mark.
What?
Yeah. And I played that song for you and said, let's wind David Bash up completely.
We gotcha. We gotcha. We gotcha, David.
I've been punked.
You have been punked.
You have been
and it was my idea.
And it was Bruce's idea. And Bruce, way to play that one greatly when I said, but when was the last time you heard that song? 24 hours ago.
Oh my God.
Actually, everybody, that was my band from 1980.
Yeah. Really?
That was Death of a Businessman by the Few. not only not regionally, but never really officially released anywhere. So the fact that we punked David.
I know. I mean, it was very believable.
You can erase those. That's great.
My strength, I mean, compared to the average music listener, yeah, I know obscure power pop singles from back then, but not like you or John, for example. That's not my. So I believed it. Yeah, I totally believed it.
I like the Mark making this up as he goes along. Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Even Jordan Oakes didn't know that one.
Good job, Bruce. That was a lot of fun. That was perfect. All right, let's continue on here. This is the next track in the system. Listen closely.
Oh no, it's not.
I know that. I know the song, but I can't think of it. I'm just
Ooh.
gonna probably. Is this question 10?
This is question 1 of the second.
Oh, it's
I
question
hope-
11.
Yep.
I haven't heard this in
Question
so
11.
long. I can't remember the beginning of it.
I'm gonna
God, it's such a great song too.
I'm gonna go
If
for
it's
a
the one I
lifeline.
think it is.
I'm gonna go for a lifeline.
David's going to go lifeline.
Oh man.
Bruce. Oh,
I'm
good
like,
one.
oh,
Bruce,
You can do it too, Bruce.
You
I
can
know
go
I
lifeline,
can.
or
I
you
know,
can take
but
a stab at the
gotta-
song.
I'm still registering my displeasure for the lifeline thing, but if it's
But
there,
you picked 3 out of 4.
This is awful.
Yeah.
Can I go first at least to get?
Yep.
I don't know.
it
You can go at all. I don't know it.
Yeah,
You can
I
go.
know.
You can go because you'll be Plastic Bertrand, c'est plein pour moi, and the year was 77. So you got 2 out of 3, Bruce.
Oh yeah, okay. I know the song.
I think it was
Plastic,
reissued though. By the way, I think that was that they re-released that and it played later.
Yeah, it did play.
I
It did play later. Yeah,
It-
and then of course
sounds early to me.
It was re-released. It came
got
out
a lot more
originally in
life
77,
as
but
Jet
then
Boy,
it was
Jet Girl.
re-released again, and I think it was around 1980 though.
I love that song.
79
though,
or
man.
80 for sure.
Yeah, it was re-released. I bought it when it came out in 77, the album, but it was re-released.
Great
I have a low-level protest.
That's all right. Keep it low level because David's gonna roll the.
Well,
Hold on.
Please, no minuses. I can't even see.
we need the minuses. You got to pre-program this thing for a minus.
Okay,
Oh, he got the bonus. He got the
fucking
bonus. Here we go. Bonus question, bonus card. We're just going to pull one out of the middle. David, question number 1. What band formed in Sydney, Australia in 1973 has seen 14 of its albums go platinum in the U.S., but never had a top 20 song there?
Great. In 73? Australian band?
Question.
What band formed in Sydney, Australia in 1973 has seen 14 of its albums go platinum in the U.S., but has never had a top 20 song?
14 have gone platinum?
Wait. This is a good question. This isn't like a walkabout. Get it? Walkabout. Mark, a little slow in the uptake.
I was concentrating on the question.
Concentrating. Wow, wait a second.
Yeah.
Why am I not getting this?
I mean, I only have one band that jumped into my mind, but they didn't have 14 platinum albums in the U.S.
In the U.S., they've had 14 of its albums go platinum in the U.S., but they've never had a top 20 song in the U.S.
This is crazy, David. This is a good one.
Oh.
I want to say Midnight Oil, but I mean, it's not.
I think I know. Is it AC/DC?
It is AC/DC.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that
took me a little while.
Got to slow down there. Yeah. We were like overthinking that one. Totally.
All right.
And I bought High Voltage when that came out in 75, I think.
I don't own any AC/DC, so.
Yeah, I own too much, probably. Well, I'm a 70s guy.
Well, I do the basketball announcement. We do a lot of AC/DC, Thunderstruck, and all that kind of stuff. You got to do it.
Yeah, for those about to rock, I mean, it was all a decline.
Yeah, it's arena rock. But all right, David. In 1988, what 24-year-old singer-songwriter released her self-titled debut album, which included the songs "Fast Car" and "Talking About a Revolution"?
Oh, geez.
1988?
1988. 24-year-old singer-songwriter debut album with the songs "Fast Car" and "Talking About a Revolution."
This is all mainstream shit, so I don't necessarily know.
I know it.
Bruce knows it, but he can't get a point for it. But he can answer that when David says, "I don't know."
Yeah, you'll kick this. It just got remade by a country artist. That's Tracy
her first solo album. Did you say?
Yeah, it was the first
self-titled debut. It was Tracy Chapman. David didn't get it.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't give me a chance, but I wouldn't have gotten it.
You wouldn't have gotten it. All right, David. What band's first 4 albums, the first released in 1969, bear only the band's name, Roman numerals, or no wording at all?
Well, just the first 4?
What band's first 4 albums, the first one released in 1969, bear only the band's name, Roman numerals, or no wording at all?
Wait a minute. So that's it? Nothing beyond the first 4?
It just says what band's first 4 albums.
Well,
First one released in 1969, bear only the band's name, Roman numerals, or no wording at all.
Yeah, this isn't in David's wheelhouse.
No.
well,
Is Jeremy here? Is Jeremy Morris here?
I don't think so.
I don't know. John's saying hi.
Yeah. Oh, there's a
No,
delay.
No, people out there, no guessing. Come on. Well, Mark won't let it.
Yeah.
I won't let it go through.
There's a little
Obviously, the answer is not Chicago. So,
First 4 albums from this band, which means they probably had more, but
that's a reasonable guess. But
the first released in 1969 bear only the band's name, Roman numerals, or no wording at all.
The Chicago Transit Authority had the name on it.
right. No, I don't know.
Great.
That would be Led Zeppelin.
Oh, yeah.
Led Zeppelin. Yeah.
Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
that is not in your wheelhouse. That's in my wheelhouse.
No, it is, Bruce. I own those albums. I just couldn't think of it.
All right,
I
last of
still rock
the
this
bonus
Zeppelin all the
bonus
time.
questions. What
Oh,
new?
geez, you get 4.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I got to do these lifelines. Shit.
You got to
I
do your
stop doing
lifelines,
this.
Bruce. What
Yeah, I
new
know.
wave band performed in matching uniforms and overturned flower pot hats and found commercial
Oh,
success
God.
in 1980 on the recent album Freedom of Choice?
Sounds like
Jeez.
Devo to me.
That sounds like
Yeah,
Devo to
of course.
David. Big bonus
But
question.
I only
All
get
right.
2. I only got 2, right?
Yeah, 2 of the 4. 2 of the 4.
Yeah, but
But you took off.
I'm not playing strategically well at all.
Well, you got to write down that I did a second lifeline.
Yeah, I got you. Second
I
lifeline.
only have
Good call.
one left. So
All right, here we go. Next
you
track
can make
up.
a big comeback. here.
Lifeline for Bruce right now.
There we go. I can't even make a comment on it to be funny because it's good. All right, David, I'm going to have you up first.
He
What
knows
do you
this
got?
one. This is
yeah.
so Dave's wheelhouse too.
Hocus Pocus Focus 73, 1, 2, 3 points.
Yeah.
Look at that. Mr. Brodeen, all 3. Is that the first time you've got all 3 points?
Nope, that's the second time.
A second time? That's excellent. Excellent. All right, next track. Here we go.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're talking.
He's going to get one that I'm not.
Oh. Bruce has all 3 lifelines. David only has 1 lifeline left, but David does hold a commanding
Wow. Yeah, this is more my
1.8.
wheelhouse.
12-point lead.
My
Wait, let me
favorite
get-
album
let me-
of theirs was
Let me
3
see if I
years
can at least
later.
guess a year because
You
I'm
can-
not going to use a
You could
lifeline.
try. You could do that, yeah.
Yeah.
You do hold a commanding 12-point lead, but you never
Yes.
know.
Hey,
that
not-
bonus
not
wheel
after-
could.
Not after this.
All right,
David, you go
Mr.
first.
Brodeen.
Oh,
Bruce,
I'll
you're
go
up.
first.
Yep. What do we got here? We got Uriah Heep.
Oh, yeah.
Easy
Wow.
Living 72 right
Good.
on
job.
the numbers.
Yeah,
Mr.
I had the
Brodeen.
wrong year. I said 76. So
All right.
there you
Look at that. Bruce
Yeah,
cut
man.
into the
My
lead.
favorite record of theirs was Return to Fantasy in
Nice.
go. I
1975.
saw Uriah Heep open for Kiss.
Did
No,
you really?
yeah, at the Syracuse War Memorial in 1976.
Sweet.
All right. Well, Bruce cut into the lead. It's only a 9-point lead now. He
Look,
picked
and
up
he's
3
got,
points right
he's
there.
got 3 lifelines. So
Yeah, I got to
Next.
use those lifelines.
Next track, he could pick up big bonuses on that lifeline if he gets the super bonus. Here
I
we
want
go.
the
Next
other- I want
track.
the second release from The Few to be on this one.
Here we go.
Why? Why not? Oh gosh.
I don't know.
Oh jeez. Oh,
It's a good one, isn't it?
yeah, it is.
Yeah, I don't know it. Maybe he does.
I can't
That
remember
is
the
a-
name of the song.
Oh, David, by the
Um,
way, we are not going to set you up again. That was just one big setup, so don't worry about setups again. It's
Oh, no, I didn't think you would do it twice.
I love this song, though. This is a great song.
It is a great song, and it's related to the band that we talked about earlier, right?
Yes, it is. Good call. Good call, Mr.
Right.
Brodeen. David's got no answer, right?
This is Phil Judd.
All right, let's go, Bruce. What do you got?
Swingers.
Got Swingers about me. Now, 81 is the year. It is the Swingers for 1 point. However, it's called Counting the Beat.
Yeah, Counting the Beat.
Yeah, I don't know that song. I've never.
Oh man, if you're a Split Ends fan, you need to hear that album. Dave.
I've seen it, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Check it.
Yeah.
Great. Swingers. Oh, what a great album. Oh, yeah. Great album. And speaking of great albums, listen to this track.
No fucking idea.
Oh, great opening lick. What is that?
Lifeline.
Lifeline for Bruce.
Yeah, I'm not going to use a lifeline yet.
Otherwise, right. I was going to. My guess would have been the What the Fuck Orchestra. Help me, 1976.
You would have been right. Let's go to the lifeline. Let's see if Bruce is going to get any bonuses. It would be a shame if Bruce got the first.
Oh my God, that would be awful if you give me a negative.
Yeah, I'll protest.
Bonus.
Oh.
Bonus.
All right, at least he got a bonus.
Oh, he got the bonus. All right, here we go. Bruce can cut into the lead. Let's pull out a random card from anywhere. We have no idea what this card is going to say. Question number 1, point number 1. What Boston band's front name was born Richard Theodore Ott Kasich?
Oh, come on.
Ott Kasich.
What
was the
Boston
the band name?
Let's see. The band name.
I'll just the Cars.
The Cars. 1 point for Bruce Brodeen. Next question. Released in 1993, the debut album of what San Francisco-based band included the top 10 singles, Mr. Jones and Round Here? 1993, San Francisco band,
the Counting
Mr.
Crows.
Jones. Counting Crows, another point.
Oh, you got it.
Wow. Good pickup. Yeah. What
make
album?
That line a little bit bigger. I need make that fill that line in. Fill that line in. There we go.
Big.
He's coming back.
He is coming back. What album reached number 1 in the U.S. when it was released in March of 1973 and remained in the Billboard 200 until July of 1988?
Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon.
Ooh, big third point. 3 for 3. Last question on the bonus round. In the 1976 Steve Miller song, Take the Money and Run, in what border city do Billy Joe and Bobby Sue head into a great big hassle?
Wait.
In 1976.
El Paso.
El Paso. Look at that. All 4 points. Bruce Brodeen up to 24.
That's so fun. I mean, David knew the right way. I had to sing it to myself, though, because damn, I love that song.
Do you realize
only 3 points behind me, right?
4 points.
No, I'm more than that. I'm more than
4.
David's at 28. Bruce is at 24.
And you have an extra lifeline, so here we go.
And we have got.
Can we have a few more one-hit wonders?
Yeah, here we go.
No, I'm into I like the one. I'm all in on the one-hit wonders too.
Isn't it kind of cool? Here we go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, we're both gonna get this for the year.
I believe I know the year.
Yeah,
at least it was in my top 40 of that year too. So.
Was it really?
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that song.
I've been so wrong on the years with this.
I'm just picking up. I'm just catching up on some comments here. We got people checking in with some previous guesses. David, is that one?
It sure is, Brad.
Yeah, I was there too. That was somebody. We had Swingers.
I didn't write this too well, but it is Sniff. I'll go Sniff in the Tears. 1981 driver's seat.
Driver's sheet 1981, 1979 was the year. And David got all 3, picked up a point on Bruce there as Bruce got 2 to David's 3. That was pretty darn good. All right, couple more tracks, and we're gonna call David. Bruce, you still have
Wait,
two
how many
lifelines.
tracks do we have left?
We have got 5 tracks left. This is
Okay.
it. Coming through. Listen here.
I should have known you were doing this one. Also made my top 40 in its year.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Yeah, after all that, I can't remember enough to make sense.
Episode 95.
Episode 95. It all goes
really?
back. It all
That's
goes back
funny.
to
Who remembers
episode
the
95.
episode?
Even
Yeah.
we can always make some reference.
Yeah, I'm going to be more strategic here. I'm going to go for the lifeline because I can pick up potentially 2 extra points.
You can, David.
Well, no,
Bruce,
in this case, I only potentially can pick up 1 extra point because David knows this.
yeah,
So
but you
I'm
could
actually going
could
to
also
use the lifeline
you could also lose
to
4
net
points.
to net.
David does know this.
Yeah.
Donnie Iris, Aaliyah, 80. There we go. 3.
Yeah, I
points
just
for
couldn't
Mr.
remember the name of the
Nash.
song, and I wasn't 100% sure on the year, and 1 point wasn't going to be enough.
My
So,
second
I need a lifeline.
daughter. Yep, my second daughter. I named her Leah after Roy Orbison's Leah and Donnie Iris.
should have known you were
Well,
gonna
I went to school in Ohio, and you know Donnie Iris was just the bomb. He was he was huge in the early '80s.
Amazing that he did the rapper.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah, isn't that with the Jaggers?
Yeah,
Yep, the Jaggers.
That was 1970 or 69.
that was 70.
70.
Yeah.
Well, it was
What
a
is that?
hit in 70. It may have officially been released.
Yeah, I would have guessed 70 on the year with that one. I
Yeah,
had the
it's 70 for sure.
Yeah.
All right, here goes Bruce's bonus spin. Let's see if he's a little lucky.
Yeah,
Oh,
go
the
for the
ten- the
bonus
tension.
8.
The tension. Oh, it could be. Oh, there goes the big one. And it is bonus.
Bonus.
Four.
You almost got the
Almost
8.
got the
You
8.
almost got the 8
You were,
point.
you were
Yeah,
right
that
there.
would've
You're
been
almost
awesome,
at the 8.
man.
At the
Double
8
points
points.
on that. That would have been awesome.
That would have been incredible turnaround. All right, here we go for first point. The deaths of Keith Moon in September of 78 and John Bonham in October of 1980 left what 2 superstar groups without their drummers? Moon and Bonham.
Oh, yeah, that's not the Who and Led Zeppelin.
Easy one
We'll
for
just do that.
1
We'll
point.
just do that.
All right, second question.
I cut out their obituaries from the Boston Globe that I carried around for years. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Easy 1 pointer for Bruce there. All right, second question. What 5'2" native of Minneapolis released 39 albums from 1978 until his death in 2016?
Oh man, that's not nice to
39
short people. That would be
39
Prince.
albums. That was Prince.
It must be Randy Newman, short people.
Yeah, I know. That was the
All right, here we go. What house band at the Whiskey A Go-Go was fired in 1966 after its lead singer sang a song that included explicit lyrics about killing? You got it. All good. All right, 3 points so far. Last one. Written and directed by Cameron Crowe, what 2000 film tells the semi-autobiographical story of a 15-year-old high school student tasked with writing a think piece for Rolling Stone while on tour with the fictional band Stillwater?
This movie gets better with age, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, Almost Famous. It's just
there you
it's
go,
just
Mr. Brodeen.
But I mean, how often does a movie like resonate and connect as the years go on? It incrementally gets better.
I have to say that movie has a line that really sums up my life in many, many ways.
Really?
We could do a variation on it, but when William says to oh God, why am I forgetting the name of the journalist? The guy who died.
Oh, Lester Bangs.
Lester Bangs.
Yeah, Bangs.
That was my man being the punk guy because he turned me on to the Stooges in 1972 as a 10-year-old. I bought Cream magazine, and Lester Bangs, how he wrote there was such emotion in it and such passion. It was like, okay, whoever he's talking about, I'm buying. Lou Reed, Metal Machine music, fuck yeah! I mean, it was just like, I mean,
the guy from San Diego. Yeah, no, the line when he said to Lester Bangs, "Even when I thought I was cool, I knew I wasn't." That has happened to me so many times. The variation would be, even when I thought I was impressing this woman, I knew I wasn't.
Yeah.
Well, right now we've got four tracks left. David holds a slim 4-point lead. You both have one lifeline left. Where's the strategy going to go? Here's the next track. Chew on this one.
It's in probably my favorite movie of all time.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Because I could very much relate to it.
David's already, this is like the match game. David's already got his card in the slot.
Yeah,
just call me Charles Nelson Riley.
Charles Nelson Bashley.
The best.
No, he and I used to get. I used to get a lot of the same answers as him. Am I gay?
If you start wearing glasses and holding a pipe. All right, Bruce, are you ready?
Shit, man. I should know this. I mean,
Isaac Hayes, Shaft 72. No, we don't have any points there. What do you say,
David?
I
just drew a
right
blank
place,
there.
Wrong time. Dr. John 73.
Shit, Dr. John.
1, 2, 3 points.
I just listened to Dr. John the other day. I literally just listened to him.
It's in my favorite movie of all time, Dazed and Confused.
Dazed and Confused. Dr. John.
I cannot believe I literally listened.
Right place.
As you can see, I'm not a big highbrow movie guy. It's my favorite movies of all time.
Man, that was the worst play by me ever. Because literally, I went into a Dr. John mood 4 or 5 days ago. And
all right, guys.
I'll tell you another reason why it was the worst. Not Bruce. Shaft was 71, actually.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was like. This didn't fit into the year, and I just don't know why. That beginning of that just sounded like something, Isaac Hayes was doing then.
You were cool, John. I was never. Trust me when I say I was never cool. Not even close. I mean.
All right, guys. We're down to 3 tracks, and you both have one lifeline. Here we go.
I can't believe I missed Dr. John.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't know it, but Bruce does. I may have to use it.
Yep, I do.
Oh, he's confidently writing this one.
How many tracks are left after this?
Oh, this is we have 2 more tracks after this.
All right, I think I better use a lifeline now.
David's going to use his lifeline.
Wow.
Yeah, you'll net more.
Well, if it's not a minus.
You don't know. What do we got, Bruce? Let's see here. X-Ray Specs, Oh Bondage, up yours, 77.
Whoa.
Look at that.
Bruce. Okay.
X-Ray Polystyrene.
Rest in
and
peace.
X-Ray Specs. All right, David.
I don't even know if I know that song. I'm not it's too punk for me.
Oh, it's one of the great screamers of all time.
Gotta love it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Please, no minuses here.
Minuses could change the whole outlook.
Come on, it's about time for a minus. Ooh, minus.
Oh, he got the bonus.
Oh, you gotta be kidding!
Now, hopefully, I can actually get these right. I haven't done so great on this.
Oh, here we go.
Have. Yeah, you have.
I missed a lot.
That one that you went 2 out of 4.
2 out of 4 sucks.
You did. I know.
All right, go ahead.
2 out of 3 ain't bad though.
Huh.
What band's most popular song, Sweet Home Alabama, composed in response to Neil Young's Southern Man, was written by members born in Florida and California?
No, I know it. It's Leonard Skinner. Lanyard Skinner.
Lanyard.
Remember when that fire cover was considered a rarity?
That was Lanyard
Yeah, absolutely.
Stanyard.
I bought that album the week it came out, so I
So
had
you
that.
got the
That
fire cover. I did too.
Yeah, but that didn't have that song on it. That was
No, but it had that
Survivors.
smell, the smell of death
Oh,
surrounding
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And it was.
God, I love Skinner, man. I just love that band.
All right, question number 2. 2 point. Second question. Originally published in 1981, whose biography is titled "Excuse Me While I Kiss the Sky"? Charles Nelson Riley.
It's not Herb Elder who said, "I'm in love with the sky." It's Mr. Jimi Hendrix.
2 points. 2 for 2. All right, question 3. Formed in 1969, Alex Lifeson, Geddy Lee,
Oh,
Neil Peart
God.
make up what Canadian progressive power band?
Oh.
From probably my second favorite movie of all time, I Love
Yeah.
You, Man. Fucking Rush, as they say in the movie.
Fucking Rush. You got it, man.
3 for 3. All right. Regarded by many critics as their best, what 1966 Beatles album takes its name from British slang for a vinyl record?
No, it's obviously Revolver.
Revolver. 4 points. 4 points.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
For
See?
4.
I mean, I finally get a punk tune, and I lose a point.
And you lose a point.
I know.
Guys, we've got 2 tracks left.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to
Bruce
play
has one
Strategic
lifeline. David is out of lifelines. So,
How many
of course-
points do we have here?
Well,
Yeah, I think-
David, you're
I
at
think
5,
there's
10,
separation.
15, 20, 25, 30, 35. You got 41 to Bruce's 33. So you're up by 8.
You got it. So
He's gonna
Well,
need that.
no, he needs
gonna
that
need
super
that 8-point
8-point
lifeline.
I need the super. Yeah, exactly. That's
So it's
that's
not
what
over.
I
No,
have
it's
to
not
play
over
it.
yet.
over. You've got
Regardless of knowing it, I gotta play it.
Here we go.
So-
That's right. All right,
Yeah.
here we go.
No idea.
Ooh, no idea.
No idea.
You're going to play the
Lifeline.
lifeline.
I think
You're
you
going to
should
play the
play
lifeline.
Bruce.
Well, we're splitting the wheel, but just so you know, that track was "I've Been Lonely for So Long" by Frederick Knight.
Oh shit!
One-hit wonder in 1972.
Wow. What?
Never
How
heard
high
that.
did that get?
Yeah.
I didn't break the top 100, but it was still a one-hit wonder.
Wow. Mark,
Well,
that was
wait. If it didn't
brutal.
break the top 100, how can it be a one-hit
was
wonder? It wasn't a hit.
Well, it's still. I
Yeah,
mean, if
exactly.
you come in at 110, it's still.
Oh, come on!
Oh man.
That's not a
Mark,
let me just-
one-hit
God.
wonder.
Let me
Are you
just spin the
kidding?
wheel. I don't know. I
David,
don't know
I'm
what-
so in tune with you.
Oh,
That is
come on! Yeah, I
wrong.
know.
That is wrong.
Yeah, you know what?
I've never
All-
heard that
all-
song in my life.
All
Me
your
neither.
negativity is probably
Yeah.
going to end up getting a minus on this spin, Bruce. Here we go.
Come
I
on,
would
hey,
love to see-
I'm the Fuse biggest fan.
I know you are. Oh, did you
Ooh.
see that super B? It was so close to a super B.
It was also close
I
to a
almost
minus
lost
4,
there.
though.
I almost lost -4 there. That was close to
almost.
-4.
All right, here we go.
Yeah,
You can
I had
make
to
this.
play
You
that.
can make this a little more respectable if we can go 4 for 4 on this
Well, thanks,
on
Mr.
this
Hershberger.
question right here. Here we go.
Jeez.
After they appeared on the British program Thank Your Lucky Stars in 1963, what band was advised by the show's producer to lose that vile-looking singer with the tire tread lips?
Oh,
The tired boy.
With the tire tread lips.
I'll give you.
19
Oh yeah.
I
I'm
know
sorry.
it.
Yeah, the Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones. Great question.
Good thing they didn't
Yeah,
take
that
his
is-
advice. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good question.
All right. Produced by David Bowie, what Lou Reed song about a transvestite who moves to New York City became a surprise hit in 73, topping out at number 16 on the Billboard Hot 100?
I gotta show you guys something here real quickly. Hold on. I'm gonna tell
Oh,
you.
here,
It's
there's
Walk on the
something
Wild
related
Side.
to that song. Yeah.
It is Walk on the
Yeah, I
Wild
got something
Side.
I literally have this here. Okay, check this out. I managed a band. called in Los Angeles called Tearaway Bridges in the late 80s in Los Angeles. And we created a game. Load of this. This is on eBay right now or Discogs for $75. Where is this? Okay, let's go here. It's a CD3. This is all we could afford. And
oh wow, that's cool looking though.
So check this out. But however, this is what got played on KROQ. Can you read that?
No.
What's it say?
It says "Walk on the Wild Side."
Oh, "Walk on the Wild Side."
Yeah.
Oh,
and
wow.
that was the lead track. It was really kind of cool.
Sweet Home Swindle.
It was like an alternative rappy version. This is 1989, I think.
Is Dave Gregory on right now? No, seriously. He said Sweet Home Swindon. Is he on? Because he was a guest of ours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dave, is that you?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. If you're watching Dave,
my God.
it'd be pretty late in the UK, but that'd be great.
Wow, you would be really late there.
Oh, he stays up late.
Yeah.
Does he really?
You are
man.
2 for
Go
2,
ahead, man.
Mr. Brodeen. 2 for 2. Closing in.
We got 2 more.
What album by The Clash, released in the U.S. in 1980, did Rolling Stone list #1 in its 100 best albums of the 80s?
Rightfully so, but Give 'Em Enough Rope is my favorite, but this is London Calling.
London Calling is true. Boom.
#1 of the 80s.
#1 of the 80s. All right, last question. What trio's member, Frank Beard, ironically wore only a mustache while his 2 bandmates famously sported long beards?
Yeah, I'm a drummer, so I actually know who Frank Beard is ZZ Top.
Yeah. ZZ Top.
Yeah.
The
forgotten member.
And just for shits and giggles, even though David has the whole thing wrapped up because that was the last lifeline, here is the final song of What, Who, When, and let's see if we can.
Bruce,
get it.
come back. You could.
Yeah. Well,
there we go.
I made it respectable in the end.
All right. Well, here we got last song. Here we go.
I don't think I've ever
I
heard
know
that.
the song, but I can't recall
Do
it.
you really?
Yeah. I think I do, but I can't
I
recall.
don't think I ever heard that, but I'm going to guess the year, right?
I'll guess the year too.
Yeah. What year you got, Bruce?
I'm going to say 1981.
That's close. Yeah. 1982.
Like mines. I was going to put 80. The production just was a little more softy and low-endy, and I
thought so too.
I
didn't think it was played 82.
And I'm like, were you going off the production too? And I'm like,
totally.
That song, and she's she actually
that?
is just came through this area on a little club tour with
Rachel Sweet,
Clinsoul's "Johnny, Are You Queer" by Josie Cotton.
Yeah. Was it really?
I know her a little bit. That's why I figured.
Final score 15-30, 41 for Mr. Bash, 15-30, 37.
You made it more than respectable.
Yeah.
You were a formidable
41.
Yeah.
37. That is no way an embarrassment, Mr.
God, no.
It took away. I had to crawl.
But you played your lifelines wisely. You almost had the Super B, which would have taken you.
Yeah.
I'm actually glad. Top. I'm glad that we all got the same thing on the lifelines because I would have hated to lose points and lose the game for that,
But I'm going to
tell even for Bruce to lose points. I don't want to win that way.
But I'm going to tell you what.
I think it was really cool. That was a cool twist, man. That was really well done.
It was a great game. You're right.
Yeah, really well done.
But here's
Extremely
the thing.
Well done.
Because it's only a 4-point margin, we are going to take votes right now because whoever can be the best air guitarist between Bruce and David on this track live on Material Issues, who does it better? Bruce or David?
Oh, this is too early. This is the
It's coming.
No, it's not. This is the organ solo.
That was the organ solo.
You gotta go. You gotta get the guitar solo.
I gotta get the guitar solo. I'm sorry, I hit the wrong file.
Oh,
Such a build-up, but I'll tell you what. For an organ solo as an air organ, I got to give it to Bruce because David was just nodding along with everything. Oh, that was a lot of fun, guys. That was fantastic. That was great.
That really was.
Did Romeo Void cover the Juliet letters?
That would be Elvis Costello.
Oh, wait. We got somebody who says they won with 52.
Yeah, somebody says they got 52.
Tim Allen got 32 points but had no lifelines.
I believe it.
John wins. Amazing.
52. Come
How did
on.
they do it?
Oh, shit.
You guys have been holding back. We got a guess on Jerry and the Pacemakers. Yeah. When I'm lonely, I do an organ solo. Yeah.
That's gotta be Borak. That's
That sounds like Jordan. That's
Jordan. Man. Yeah, that's gotta be Jordan. You're right.
John, I'm sending Bruce a new air guitar for Christmas. You'll get it in an 8x10 envelope. And
thank you. Appreciate that.
Someone did get 52. That's great. My friends,
tell us your name. Tell us your name.
Who was that? Who got 52?
John Borak?
Yeah, but who is it?
Who is it? They got to come clean.
I trust it. Yeah, come clean. We just want to know who you are.
It's Dave Gregory from XTC. Yeah.
Oh, is he really on?
No, I'm just teasing. I have no idea. It's John
Borak.
No,
tell us who you are. It is
Borak. Got it.
Why isn't Borak signed on?
Yeah.
Way to go! I believe that totally.
Bruce, thank you so much for playing. Thank you so much for playing along. It's always a daunting task. There's only been one person who's ever defeated David. That's pretty much because he was just in awe of Jackie Fox. But
no, it's because she got easy questions and I got hard ones.
Oh, was it
even she admitted that.
I know. It was random though. But,
I gotta watch that. I mean, oh man,
it was a fun.
I mentioned the Runaways
get her
earlier.
back on. Actually,
it was a fun episode. Yeah.
I mean, Jackie Fox, she was my Fox in the run. I mean, when the Runaways came out in '75, I was so all over that, and I was just so overwhelmed with her beauty. I was crushed when she left after the second record, man. Although I have to say, my favorite Runaways record that I put on is the third one, "Waiting for the Night," because it's a rocker. You know, Joan took over the reins and just dialed it up and
just killed it. Yeah.
But Jackie Fox, come on. I mean, and then she became a lawyer and she helped other. I mean,
and a Jeopardy champion.
And a Jeopardy champion.
Yeah, that's right. And a Jeopardy champion on top of it. I mean, brilliant. So brilliant.
She's a fox on the run. Yes, she is.
On the run.
She still looks good.
That's John.
No, that could be Jordan.
Could be Jordan. Well, you know what? This has been a wonderful holiday spectacular. I mean, a 2-hour plus show.
3 hours.
3 hours.
This is a 3 hour.
3 hours. I can't even add 3. This is the record. I think
3 hours.
Yeah.
Did we set the record?
I think we just set a record.
Yeah. It's amazing. Like half of our audience is still here. So
you can't.
And once again, we can look at
seriously.
Bruce.
Kudos to anybody still hanging around.
Oh yeah, we still got people
and dealing with us.
and the wonderful thing is, or the neat thing is, we got to have Bruce back for episode number 3 because we still haven't cracked a lot of things that we wanted to talk about yet. So
it would have been great to talk about some NotLame bands and stuff too.
We will,
that's
John Kirby, I'm sure, has many of them.
Oh yeah, he does.
Was this rehearsed? We scripted this entire 3 hours. Yeah, I know it looks unrehearsed, but that's the difference.
The only thing that was rehearsed was Mark and I with the few. That was it.
Depends on what the criteria were for which was better. Episode 95 will definitely that'll go down in history. Speaking of going down, watch episode 95.
Episode 95. That's all we can say. So you got to go to the archives. Either on.
Have you seen episode 95, Bruce?
No, I haven't. I'm going to watch it though.
You're going to have to check it out. Yeah.
Episode 95.
I just want to find out what Vicky Fox has been up to.
Oh,
what Jackie Fox has been up
to.
I
mean Vicky Fox. I mean Jackie Fox. What she's been up to.
That's Jordan. She's been doing she's been doing games. She's a big gamer, and
she's a gamer.
She's done some of her own as well.
Yeah, because I know she left the law many years back. I think.
No, she plays in trivia contests. She plays games. She's invented games. Yeah, she's a big computer gamer.
Oh, I mean, I always knew she was brilliant, but now, I mean, clearly she's even more brilliant than I could fathom. That's awesome.
Well, you know, we look. It's always a pleasure having you on here, Bruce. And we do look. We still have to talk about a lot more, but we do look forward to Lufo, Lost, Unreleased, Forgotten, Overlooked, digging out truly great music from the past and present. That's coming up after the winter.
2024 sometime.
2024.
Sometime in the first 6 months. Yeah.
You'll hear about a lot of things that Bruce talked about tonight.
It'll be easy. You'll put your name in. You'll get on the list, and it's a free newsletter, and it's not going to take up a lot of time. It's going to be
like when Pop Detective released the Lost album from the Head Boys. Fun stuff like that.
Lost album, exactly.
The Lost album, and just to let you know, Pop Detective is back on the internet. PopDetective.com is alive and well. So if you haven't checked out all my past releases,
Bruce, if you do a promotional baseball glove, it would be a Lufo mitt. Sorry.
She's a pilot, a moon explorer. Happy Christmas, guys. Yes, John Kirby, happy Christmas, my friend. 99 Luft balloons.
Nena.
Wonderful waste of time. I hope we're your favorite waste of time.
Your favorite waste of time.
To quote the author,
Bruce. Fantastic. We wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and
absolutely. Enjoy Hilton Head.
Yeah, great 2024.
For those who don't know, I live on Hilton Head Island.
And there's definitely a Paris joke in there somewhere, but we're not gonna say it.
I have never seen that video. I really should, I guess, huh? Pretty good.
Yeah,
what do you think? What do you say, guys? Be honest, huh? Transparent.
Haven't seen it.
I think it's extremely highly recommended.
Probably. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, everybody, thank you so much for hanging in with us. Bruce, if you want to stick around while David tells us.
Happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas. God's richest blessings to everyone out there.
I have to ask you something, Bruce. Is the state pronounced Colorado, not Colorado?
Yeah, we say in Colorado, you say Colorado. A lot of people say Colorado.
It's the same thing with Nevada. Yeah. Everyone says Nevada. No, it is not Nevada. It's Nevada.
You know, I default to my children, you know, because they're I consider myself a Coloradoan because I lived there 32 years of my 61. But my kids are genuine Coloradoans. And I think I should ask. I'm going to be picking up our daughter in a couple of days here. I think they would say Colorado.
Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Yeah.
Colorado.
John Denver was wrong.
Well, Bruce, we'll let you go. David's going to update us as to who's coming up in the next couple of weeks and what we got going on. But my friend, an absolute pleasure. And I'm
always a pleasure and always
so happy to call you a friend. Yeah.
Very enlightening.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bruce. Merry Christmas.
All right, Bruce. Have a great one.
All right. Thank you, John.
All right. Bachman Turner Overdrive is back, man.
Oh, God. We've had some of the worst puns and some pretty good ones.
That's a pretty good ones. I'll tell you what. I genuinely love Mr. Brodeen. You know, I've loved all my time with him and around him and of him and for him and talking to him. It's just it's an absolute pleasure. In this life, you know, we only have a short little ride on this merry-go-round, but when you get to meet quality people like yourself, David, one of my better friends in the world, and Mr. Brodeen, it's just fantastic. And everybody who tunes in and kind of plays around with us, greatly appreciated. And episode 95 is archived on Facebook and YouTube, materialissues.com. You can go back and watch the previous 134 episodes. Next week will be 135 coming up. And what do we got coming up?
Well, we've got some pretty cool stuff coming up. Let's see what we got. Well, next week it'll just be us.
Yep.
But we've got 10 minutes And so it'll just be us talking about whatever we talk about.
Yep.
Maybe we could have a Stump the Bash. It's been too freaking long. And some people have asked for it. But we'll be talking about some new releases to wind up the year, including episode 84. I don't remember which one that is, but Linda, what?
I don't know.
I don't know who. Somebody's really messing with us.
Yeah, but it's going to be
about our 10-minute guest.
Well, it's going to be the end of the year episode. It'll be you and I will play a Stump in the Bash, but we're going to have just a little segment where we'll be joined by Eddie Finley and the wonderful Lisa Michaels. They helped put together this what's it called? It's Aloha Maui. It's a Maui relief compilation that benefits all the victims of the wildfires in Maui. Michael McCartney told me all about it a couple weeks ago. It's a wonderful. It's out on Bandcamp. You can download the digital files. 42 tracks. And Eddie Finley, Lisa Michaels helped to put the whole thing together. So they're going to join us live to talk about this wonderful benefit album that you can help and send a little money for 42 great tracks and help the wildfire victims. And love to Michael McCartney. He has checked in. There's still so many people that are homeless and suffering in Maui, and you do not hear about it on an everyday basis anymore. So if you want to directly help out, join us next week. Hear more about it. You'll be able to go to Bandcamp and download this as well. We'll have it on our site. We'll post more about it. But yeah, that's coming up next Wednesday. Yeah, John says awesome. buy it. Yeah.
Yes, I did. It's John Kirby. I don't know what. That's just what I don't even know what. This is just all completely random.
It just gets out of control sometimes.
It really does. All right, so the first couple of. So that'll be our last show of 2023. Our first couple of shows in 2024 will be on Thursday.
Yep.
Rather than Wednesday. Mark has his basketball schedule, so he's got to do the games, folks.
The show must go on.
But the show must go on, which is not a one-hit wonder. And on January 4th, Thursday, January 4th, we will have one of the founding members of one of the coolest record labels to ever come down the pike. That would be Rhino Records. Yep. And the gentleman would be Harold Bronson.
Yep.
And so he's largely responsible for all of those amazing releases that Rhino put out. I don't know him. I don't know that we've even ever met, but I have a little bit of an affiliation with Rhino, having worked with Gary Stewart, the vice president, on a few of their compilations, including the DIY.
Mm-hmm.
And I know John Borak and Jordan Oakes wrote the liner notes to the Poptopia series. Mm-hmm. So they know Gary pretty well. But Harold has written a book called Time Has Come Today, his Rock and Roll Diaries. And it's very cool. It's just just the memories by a record guy, the recounting of all kinds of great stories, things he did, places he was, people he met. Really cool book on the Trouser Press Books company. All time, they are great.
Great record label.
So this is chronological. I just turned to a page where he talks about Rodney Bingenheimer. How about that? And a page where he talks about Focus. So there you go.
It all ties in. Yeah,
it
the
really
universe
does.
just.
So check this book out. I believe it's it's definitely out because I did not get an advance copy. I purchased it probably directly from Trouser. Oh no, wait a minute. No, I bought it from Freak Beat Records. That's right. But I think you can get it on Amazon and so it's pretty cool. And he will be our guest talking about the book and other things and about Rhino in general. On the 11th, we will not have a guest. That'll be Thursday, January 11th. I will be talking mainly about my best of 2023 lists.
Yep.
Which I'm right now, lately, I've been listening to a lot of the 2023 releases, trying to figure out where they go. I can say right now, I don't have a number one with any confidence at the moment. There are a few definite candidates, but nothing where I say absolutely number one. So I'm kind of curious as to where it's all going to end up. But trust me, I'm looking down, I have a lot of releases and tons of reissues as well. So we'll talk a little bit about that.
It's going to be a great episode because that'll be all about your best of 23.
And we'll play some clips and hopefully not get them squelched. Yeah.
But we'll see.
Or quashed.
We roll the dice. We roll the dice.
Yeah. And then we'll be back on Wednesday. So it'll be Wednesday, January 17th, in accord with the new album coming out by the band The Weaklings. We will have their main man, Mr. Glenn Burtnick,
that'd be good.
on Material Issues. And, you know, he was part of Beatlemania. He was a member of Styx. He's done all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah.
Check out his Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
He's
super talented. Yeah.
Amazing songwriter. And The Weaklings are a really cool band.
Yeah.
On the Gem Records label, I might add.
Great label.
So, big thanks to Marty Scott and Maureen of Gem for helping us out with procuring guests and all that good stuff and all their releases. So, so Glenn Burtnick on January 17th, Wednesday. So we look forward to that. And of course, other irons are in the fire. As
always, irons in the fire. Yeah, it's just a matter of.
So we'll see what 2024 brings.
I can't. We're 134 episodes into it. We've been doing this now for over 2 years, 2.5
years.
2.5 years, which amazes me, but it's been nothing but a great ride, and
it really has.
Yeah, so this is our final episode before Christmas Day. One more episode left in the year. So for those who celebrate Christmas on Monday, Merry Christmas, love, happiness, you and yours.
Where would Christmas be without Mary and Joseph, Morecambe and Wise, Laurel and Hardy, and Cracker Supplies? What is it? Lights on the Pine Trees and More After. Was it More After Shave? Wait. I'm not forgetting Jesus, who was born on Christmas Day. Christmas Day by Squeeze, and an amazing Christmas.
Good lyric. Remember, enjoy, everybody. It's been a riot. It's been a gas for the last 2.5 years doing this. I can't believe we've been doing this for so long, but man, it's fantastic. So
everyone, if you celebrate, and even if you don't, because it's not just a religious holiday. It is a universal holiday. Yeah. Even though I never celebrated Christmas, I really love Christmas, especially when I was back east with the snow and the trees and the sleigh bells and Santa Claus, and of course the amazing Christmas music and the top hundreds of the year that so many radio stations would play between Christmas and New Year's. To wake up on Christmas morning with a pen and pad in hand, waiting to write down the top 100 of the year, was always, and so I associate that with Christmas as well. So everyone have a very, very Merry Christmas, and hopefully we'll see you on next week on the 27th.
Next Wednesday, tune in 6 p.m. Eastern time right here. Material Issues Facebook, materialissues.com on YouTube. Remember to pay it forward if you have the means. Love everybody. Happy holidays. Have a great one.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Love to Rena.
Love to Hannah, Leah, and Chez. Leah. Yeah.
Leah.
Thank you for that one. Without that one, do I even beat Bruce? I don't think I do.
Episode 95, everybody. Good night.